Welcome to Hurrdat Sports Live.
Karl Anthony Towns trying to get going, comes up short. Josh Hart comes flying in, had the rebound, lost it. Towns has it. And look at Mitchell, dives on the floor, takes it away. Goes inside the layup and banks it home. Anunoby's going to do it from the corner. OG Anunoby with his first points. He has been shooting lights out.
There's a fly ball. Deep left center, headed towards the bleachers, and in the basket and gone. Bryce Terang, a two-run shot. Brewers will take that shot in the arm. On the 0-1 from King. Lifts it to left field. Back goes Sheets. Onto the track at the wall, off the very top of the wall. It's a home run. It's a home run for Freddie Freeman in a big way to snap the long skid. 2-0. Dodgers on the board in San Diego. Out to left center. This ball is rocked. Into the gap and off the top of the wall. Two outfielders look at themselves and don't find the baseball. Here comes James Wood, rounding third and heading home. Woo! Inside the park, grand slam for James Wood. Going on first move, a drop and a run scores. Putting pressure on Hall on the mound, and I was tied the game. Rogers strikes out swinging, and Michigan State has its first Big Ten tournament win in 3 years.
Welcome in, Hurrdat Sports Live, presented by Next Gen Male Medical. That's DB. I'm Ravi Lulla here at Hurrdat Sports HQ. What's up, DB?
How we doing?
I'm doing all right. Your drink doesn't smell good, man.
I don't.
It smells like
It's already been stressful enough this morning.
so. That's the apple flavor.
Yeah.
It smells like a mix between like fabric softener and a candle.
Wow.
It smells like there's like disinfectant in there somewhere. I don't like
this
it.
is like, I mean, what are we talking about?
It's not. I mean, I don't know if there's a way I can like take a drink without contaminating your stuff here.
Okay, here.
Now we're gonna do a little bottle cap. Okay.
There you go.
I'm definitely gonna spill this. I do not have steady hands.
The protein drink. Every day you ask me what I'm drinking. It's a protein drink. I know you wanted one.
Nope. It tastes better than it smells, but
You're like a child. You said nope before you even had a chance to let it, as
soon as it touched the taste buds, I
soak
knew.
in the old palate.
No, it's better that it's not as aggressive as like a Jolly
Sorry, Mike.
Rancher.
Yeah.
But it's still in the same neighborhood. Oh, you got the Patriots next head coach on the table.
Would you stop?
Oh, okay. Sorry. Rico, you doing okay with all this? But how would you feel if you traded Vrabel for Tomlin right now?
I'm not even kidding you. Hang on, Suave. I don't know what's wrong with me. This is tough. Like I can see him, but I can't see him.
What do you mean? Is it the light? Is the light?
What do you mean?
Is he doing that?
He was, yeah.
Man, yeah.
I would really like you to go to an eye doctor.
I don't think this is an eyesight thing. I feel like I'm being interrogated and they've turned the heating lamps up. Why are they they're doing too much?
This is the same as it is every day. DB.
No, because Austin came in and he finagled it. He fidgeted with it.
He just turned them on.
I don't know.
That's
man.
all that happened.
No. Why are you vouching for him?
Because I'm doing everything I can to keep us on camera, DB. Because I know left to your own devices, it would just be black screen, Hurrdat logo, and just voices over the top.
I'm telling you, I think the images are highly overrated.
Yeah, the internet would not agree with you on that.
Damn it. It's fine.
So we got TJ Lateef. And,
yes, we got my man.
And Mike Tomlin.
I'm teefing and Tomlining this
Yeah.
morning. A little TNT.
Yeah, there you go.
Nothing wrong with that.
You think Mike Tomlin's going to coach?
I do not think he will coach this year.
Okay.
I am looking forward to him in studio so he can say things like,
Hear the words.
Hear the words.
Pressing.
That was a pretty good one.
Mike Tomlin is phenomenal.
No,
yours is
good.
just okay.
I can only say press it. That's the only thing I can do.
You got to be continually pressing.
Yeah, I can't do anything else.
Pressing.
It's my dude.
Yeah.
Yeah.
How would you feel? Like, let's theoretically, I don't think it's going to happen, but hypothetically, if he went to the Patriots, like, how would you feel about that? Would you be conflicted?
No.
Just rooting for him?
No.
Okay. I don't know, man. I'm
No.
trying to figure out where is your love for Mike Tomlin versus.
So I'm really. This is a little waffly.
Mhm.
Like young people, I'm cool. You wanna leave West Side and go to Central or Micah, don't be getting any ideas. Or
Micah,
Millard North.
Come on over to Millard North, Micah.
Gretna or
Come on
somewhere, or like I'm cool.
Yeah.
Do you? I love kids. It's fine, right?
Mhm.
Adults of pro teams, I should probably have a little more grace because they are adults, but I would not rock with Tomlin.
So
because it's the principle of the matter. There's the infamous Jesse James catch, no catch. There's the drop pick.
Mhm.
I hate the Patriots solely because they have been one of the banes of the Steelers' postseason existence.
Yeah,
so
for most of the 21st century.
I just can't. Anybody? No Ravens,
Mhm.
no Clowns. I don't even mind if you were a bungle.
Yeah,
but certainly not the Patriots. There's no way.
So
how could he don the gear?
Well, that's what the money's for.
I don't know. We had a couple parents in our parents' meeting last night that had been from other schools, and I'm like, you know what? I think I like you guys even more for just the resolve.
Yeah.
Yeah.
See, when I've got a situation like Tomlin, it depends on me, like how they left. Like if he chose to, like if I'm a Steelers fan and he's like, hey, the Steelers want me back, but I'm going to the Patriots instead.
Yeah.
Then I feel some kind of way. But he was let go. Like, let's call it what it is.
No, he stepped down.
Okay.
If Mike Tomlin wanted to coach the Steelers in 2026, you think the Steelers are saying no?
I think they were trying to move on from him. Yes.
I think you're on correct. You don't move on from Tomlin for McCarthy.
I mean, I wouldn't hire McCarthy no matter what happened to Tomlin.
I can't. I was doing just fine.
How mad are you going to be when I say this?
The morning's a little
Tomlin's career 500, not career, but he's like always around 500 with the Steelers. He won the Super Bowl, and then it's just been like, all right, doing just enough to be middle of the pack.
Yeah, that's fine. That's like the lowest of the dirty hanging fruit that touches the ground, Rico. But some of these rosters that he's had, they've maximized. I'm not a big overachieve guy, but they've maximized. Like they haven't been good. I mean, look at the quarterback play post Ben. Like, what are we talking about? And Ben ran into Tom, like 98% of the rest of the AFC.
We're just talking.
Like, get out of here with that, Suave. And it's easy.
I love Mike Tomlin, but like
he said it all nice. I love
Mike Tomlin. I wanted him as a Patriots head coach for a long time. Now I'm okay with Vrabel, but like Mike Tomlin has the one Super Bowl and then just a whole lot of nothing.
Here we go.
So are you trying to make the argument that he basically is Mike McCarthy?
They're similar.
Is that
they're similar?
A little bit, yeah.
So is Sean Payton, and you guys.
Not you guys. Don't put me in the Sean Payton camp. You know
I've never looked at Mike McCarthy and Mike Tomlin and said those guys are the same.
I mean, they kind of are.
I think McCarthy and Tomlin are both better than we think. And
Tomlin is a 61 win percentage?
Yeah, there's a difference of like 63 to 61. So Tomlin's at 63%.
Yeah.
McCarthy's at 61 career. So like I think
like I haven't looked at this before, Rico. And I came in wanting to be nice to you.
Yeah, he was talking about giving you some burnt ends and stuff. I don't think that's gonna happen.
How about that?
Yeah, I don't think that's gonna happen.
I said, hey, Rico here?
Yeah, you're like, when does Rico come back?
I go, when does Rico? Like, no, don't tell him what I didn't say any of that. I was like, man, I hope that damn Rico never shows up again. And to boot, I was like, even if when the Cavs were gonna win, I was not gonna
be nice to him.
No, I wasn't gonna outwardly give you your props because you were emphatic about.
Yeah, I really thought they were gonna win
not just the 7 points. You're like, the Cavs are winning game one.
Yeah,
and for however many minutes, I'm like, this guy dang Ravi.
Yeah. I feel like I read the game properly, like how I thought it would, but like obviously it's the Jalen Brunson thing.
So even if they would have won, I was like, oh man, you know, I don't want to. That's Rico's team. We don't have. I mean, that's not our team. You just would have been right. So it wasn't worth me saying, "Ooh, Ravi, nice call, whatever," and then have you feel bad. But nah, man.
Do you want me to tell you how bad of a way I was last night?
Were you in a bad way?
He sent his wife out of the room, didn't you?
I was sitting on the couch. I threw my hat down at one point, and I was just sitting there angrily in silence. And my wife just walks by, gives me a kiss on my forehead. She goes, "I love you," and walks away.
She's like an absolute gem.
Oh, she's mean.
No,
she's mean.
She's has her moments. I love her. I love her so much.
What before? Rico, is she tougher than you?
Yeah, she's a farm girl
and taller.
That's funny because
I've heard the way they talk on the phone. She's mean.
Dudes are weird like that.
A little bit. I like it.
Couple of these volleyball play, like, you know, you have a kid in college.
Yeah,
we're trying to parse through like what's what, and I don't really want to hear about anybody's love life.
Sure,
to begin with, but he's like, nah, you know, she's taller than me, and this, that, and the other, and she's this, and too loud, that, and blah blah blah. And I'm just like, I don't know, Rud. Like, you're 5'11" 3/4. Like, I get it. 85% of the world is gonna be shorter than you, but like, what if you accidentally fall in love with somebody that's taller than you? And what if they wear heels and she's taller than you?
I'm
just gonna be cool with that?
Go get some of them D1 babies. You know what I'm saying? Get some of that height in your gene pool.
Listen,
ain't no problem.
I just filled up the gas tank yesterday. I hope they never have kids. I'm just saying.
But no, she left the room, and then the Knicks started going. Jalen Brunson specifically started going off, and there was like 2 minutes left, and the game was tied. And I literally walked in the room, and I just looked at her, and I said, "You can't come back."
Oh,
and she's like, "Okay."
I wonder what's my most epic meltdown.
Yeah, he booted her out the room. He's just like, "You got to go."
She said, "Okay." She understood.
What sporting spectacle was the biggest meltdown? I don't know. I'm sure I'm not a joy, but you know what I mean? It's like,
yeah,
I'm not outwardly saying
I say
much.
you like get quiet.
Yeah, I'm not saying anything. I'm just probably just sitting there.
Yeah, I feel like in those situations when you're unhappy about something like that, you just get quiet.
Yeah,
and you just don't want to talk to anybody.
I mean, Steelers on Sunday night a couple years ago was not great, but they were 2 games above 500. It was the Ravens. It was wide right, and then I'm like, oh, they ended up winning. So I was like, that would have been a meltdown.
Yeah.
Dodgers haven't lost anything meaningful in some time.
Yeah. What's the worst? I mean, the 18 Red Sox, is that the most?
Yeah,
recent,
I just felt like
one?
the Red Sox were
They were
better.
I mean, the Red Sox were good that year.
So, and I felt like the Astros were better.
Yeah. So it's hard to get to it. Probably the
biggest. So you were like melting down. So Ben gets like that.
Oh yeah,
I know mine right off the rip.
What's that?
As soon as we started talking about this, 2019 Nebraska, Colorado. My dad and I were so upset we flipped the pool table in our basement.
Now I'm gonna say Texas Tech when they hung 70 on Nebraska.
Oh, okay.
So it's the Texas Tech KU because I remember
that was 7.
Yeah,
that's the last Callahan year.
Yep, I was back at the old place.
Yeah,
on Curtis, and we'd had coaches over for UFC. Coach Samanji. I had like a 280-pound television. That's how long ago this was.
It was like one of the big
I had to call
ones.
I had to call 1-800-JUNK to come move it. You know, it had like the curved front. It was like, ooh, this is a cool TV. And like 3 years later, it was like, oh god, this thing's a bird.
It was like 50 inches. You're like, this is the biggest TV anyone will ever have.
Yeah. And I laid on my back, but I wasn't. And I'm pretty sure it was. What's the shortest verse in the Bible? Jesus wept. DB wept. Like I was like, oh my God, we are absolutely dog manure. We just went to Lubbock and got boat raced. Paddle to Bunda.
Yeah.
So, but I wasn't mad.
It was more like despair.
Even so, the next closest is Nova, Carolina. But that night I was distracted because that was the night my dad got out of the house. He was sick.
Yeah.
And had left the house. We couldn't find him.
Yeah, he was missing for a little while.
So yeah. So I was distracted.
Yeah, I remember that.
But that was not. That's about it though.
Yeah.
My worst one was last year. The first game against Indiana.
Pacers. Yeah, that was pretty bad.
That
really
are the Knicks the team you care about the most though?
Probably. I think I've realized that over the last few years. I think the Knicks are the team that I care about the most. Yeah. Like that's the team that I want to win the most. And I'm probably the most upset when they lose.
Do you separate college from pro?
Yeah, I don't really care about college basketball. But and like college football, Nebraska, it's easier to kind of separate that because of working in the media. Like I still get a little mad on the fan side, but I'm just like, whatever, like it happens, blah, blah, blah. But
I would, even as a former player, I would probably agree with my job has helped.
Sure.
Because I've progressively gotten a little more objective with the results.
Have to focus on, you're going to have to talk about it, right? So you like have to find a way.
And I like solutions, so I'm not just going to bitch.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
So I'm trying to think. I still fan more, a little more than you tend to on Nebraska stuff. And that, I think that comes over the air sometimes, especially when like Austin and I do post games like that. That's usually when you'll find me at my worst if I'm like going to be emotional and then I get over it and I move on by the next day. Probably my biggest meltdowns, 16 NBA finals when the Warriors lost the 3-1 lead. That one.
Are we talking adult?
It could be whenever.
I told you about hiding in the Lazy Susan.
Oh, yeah.
And my parents.
Yeah.
That was Busta Rhymes scored with like less than a minute to go.
Yeah.
I hated Jeff Quinn. Wasn't even his fault. I'm sure I would love Jeff Quinn now, but that was a colossal meltdown.
Yeah. Yeah. 16 Warriors NBA Finals was really bad.
Roger Craig fumble against the Giants hurt me. Even though I liked San Francisco.
Mm-hmm.
I've never loved
Roger Craig.
I love Roger Craig.
03 Yankees Red Sox was pretty rough. I was at my friend's house. I walked home.
Oh, I know the most recent.
What's that?
Beltran.
Oh,
Cardinals, Dodgers. That was tough. And went to extra. Yeah, that was. And then I would like defend Beltran.
Mm-hmm.
Infamously, the Reggie Jackson comparison, and people were like, we don't know ball. And I was like, try me.
No, Beltran's better than people think he is. Beltran was really
Beltran was incredible
for a really long time. Yeah. He also had, it might have been the 04. Was that the year that he was with the Astros, or the first time in 04 when he got traded?
Yeah.
When he just had the most unreal postseason.
Yeah.
And then he got bounced by the Cardinals, but like he was just stupid good.
The whole thing about why I started the comparison, and it's not just because I'm anti-Reggie, but was because Beltran was clutch.
Yeah.
And
he had a lot of postseasons.
Dude had some shenanigans.
Yeah. He had some years where it's just like, what is happening right now? He turned into like prime Barry Bonds almost. You couldn't pitch to him.
But I've come around. Where was the baseball game played where they interviewed Reggie Jackson last year? Was it the field? No, it was Negro League, the stadium.
Yeah. And he dropped the N-word on live TV and everybody was like, wait, I'm sorry, what?
Yeah. So after I heard that interview, I was like,
it was hard not to like understand him a little better after that.
I mean, dude's just angry.
Yeah. And he seems like he's been angry for
a long time.
Yeah.
So
because that's in the 70s. I mean, that's 50 years ago at this point.
And I usually don't come around on people this late.
Yeah. That might be like the most honest he's been, though.
Yeah, I mean,
I'm not going to pretend to consume a ton of Reggie Jackson content, but I'd never heard him talk like that.
So full disclosure, because I'm weird, right?
Mm-hmm.
I always envision myself. Hopefully TK isn't logged in, but I always envision myself like when I want to know if somebody did something and they're in a room. I don't want to be able to hear. Sometimes I want to just be able to see.
Okay.
Right, like through a looking glass, and I can't see. After a time and a half of like rewinding that Reggie Jackson interview, I listened to it without the volume, much like I watch boxing.
Yeah.
Sometimes when I want to just be objective, his facial expressions, like there was some deeps, like,
oh yeah,
I mean, just watching his delivery, I was like, yeah, this one hurts.
Yeah.
This one hurts. So I was like, oh, okay, Reg, we're cool now.
That was one of those, like, that came from the depths. Like he was bringing some stuff up that he probably had not talked about in a very long time.
Yeah, like I always like I just, you know, when people are in like interrogating rooms or something, I was like, hey, don't listen to what they're saying. Just watch their mannerisms, right? I just want to look through the glass. But I was back in the old profiler days.
Totally unrelated, but kind of not. Are you big like O's the Mentalist guy?
No.
Okay.
No, I
Because you
like
see those clips with like the teams all the time, right?
Yeah.
So I listen to. I'm always like fascinated how that stuff works, like how he's able to do that and whatever. So I listened to this Pablo Torre thing. He did like a deep dive with this guy from.
Are we in or out on Pablo?
I don't listen to him a ton, but I'm generally in on what he does.
Okay.
Like I don't have a problem, and I think he does really good work. But I'm not gonna sit there and listen to all of his podcasts unless the subject matter really interests me.
You're not honking for Pablo?
No, but I'm not against him either. Like it's content based for me, you know. And I was interested in this one, so I listened to it, and you know, he kind of gives off this thing. It's like, hey, I'm doing all these. He basically, you remember the show Lie to Me?
Yeah.
He basically is pretending like he's doing the same thing that guy's doing, where he's like, well, I saw the nostril do this, and his eyebrow did this, and his mouth curved 10 degrees, and that means this. Like he's pretending to pick up on all these things, and that's how he's guessing. When really he does all these pre-production stuff with, like, he meets with all of his like subjects like an hour before the actual thing you see on camera, and like plants all these things. And like it's still an impressive show, but it really kind of like shattered the glass for me on it, where I was like, because they kept showing these clips. And it's like, okay, you see what he's referencing here? He's not saying what you think he's saying. He's actually referencing back to the pre-production meeting. And it was just it's kind of unbelievable. Like once you like take the shroud off and you're like, oh, like this is all super obvious.
Just to drop shroud.
Once you, like of Turin.
Shane, who's the comic book character? Is it the Shroud? He has the like.
Oh, it could be. I'm not sure.
Oh God.
There's the Scrooge.
The who?
The Scrooge. Scrooge.
Scourge.
Yeah, the Scourge.
That's Ebenezer.
Oh my God.
No, it's not Ebenezer.
Well,
Ebenezer did not fight
definitely
Captain
said
America.
Scrooge.
Yeah,
I did say Scrooge.
Yeah.
It's okay. Like,
hey, my game, by the way.
What's that? Your Meltdown game?
1990 AFC Championship game.
1990. Don't give it to me. I know it was the Raiders. I'm trying to think what happened. 1990
And
AFC
there's something happened a week before, which led up to it.
Somebody got hurt.
Yep.
So is that Bills? Is that Bills Raiders?
Well, the Bills had to be able to win it.
Right.
90. Damn it.
That is not my wheelhouse at all.
Give it to me, Shane.
51-3, Buffalo won week before Bo Jackson
got hurt. Yep.
I am stunned that Bo Jackson was injured.
Yeah.
I'm
absolutely
floored.
That was horrific, though.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was horrific.
Was that the injury?
Yeah.
The one that like ended it?
Yeah, because they played, was it Cincinnati?
Cincinnati, yeah.
Dude, your boy, like, see, it'll come to me.
Hey, DB.
Yes.
Maximilian Coleridge, the Shroud, is a comic book character in Marvel Comics.
Thank you. Okay, we're back. I might bring you some food again.
Yes.
I know it. I'm still wondering why you said Scrooge, Shane, because that's throwing me a little bit.
But I was just reading Captain America
not
versus
Scourge either.
Leave him alone. Only I can do this.
Scourge.
As the third producer of the show, can you go back to Pablo Torre? Because just staying consistent with our topics today?
Sure. What do we got?
Oh, I was mostly done. I was just talking about the micro expressions and like reading people and stuff and how it's mostly.
I absolutely hate this show. This show is the worst.
Why can't you just be a nice person?
Because I was really interested in it, and then you brought up Marvel characters, and then all of a sudden everyone's done talking about something Austin's interested in, which is totally fine.
Austin, what would you like to know? I listened to a whole hour podcast. What would you like to know?
He diplomatically inserted himself, then mini melted down.
Austin, what would you like to know about O's the Mentalist and how it's a scam?
You know what? I don't really give a shit anymore. Talk about anything you want.
How was soccer? Were you team Marion?
Don't try to buddy up to me now. It's too late.
I hate it here. I want to come home. Everybody's so mean.
Shane,
well
you
played.
dickhead.
Everybody's just choosing violence. I had to kick myself out of the Discord yesterday. What a bunch of... So, Austin, everybody thought your pregnancy pants was hilarious.
They were hammering you on those pants, man. They weren't that bad. They just looked like sweatpants.
I was like, oh, Austin said something kind of funny. He goes, are you sure those aren't pregnancy pants? And I thought about it for a second. I was like, no, they can't be. Number one, I got them in the guys section. Number two, there was no elasticity.
I mean, they were still an elastic band, but usually pregnancy pants are like, they've got like a panel.
Yeah, like the little pooch thing.
Yeah.
I was like,
for the belly. No, I thought they were. I would have guessed they were lounge pants. Usually with the sweatpants without a string are like lounge or sleepwear pants, which is an easy mistake to make. That's not bad.
Oh, they were for public wearing.
I mean, depends on.
I found what they were. They were tech gear.
Like Travis Hunter will wear pajama pants out in public. You could.
I should have known when Rico started. Then you low key chimed in, and it's fine. That we giddy up today.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry that I was mean to you and I hurt your feelings. I was just very excited that the Knicks won and came back from down $1 million. It seemed like.
Austin, what do you want to know about Pablo Torre? I got you.
Austin's cussed 3 times in 4 minutes. You think he was ready to talk?
I already said that I'm done with this topic. I've moved on.
No, I got you. What do you want to know? We can talk about whatever you want.
There's literally nothing else.
Soccer. Can I talk about soccer for a second?
Sure.
Yes, Queen.
What would you like to talk about with soccer?
Neutron.
You do realize the more you express that it bothers you, the more he's going to do it.
Jimmy Neutron. If you were going to pick somebody that wasn't Lincoln Southwest, in hindsight, who would it have been?
To win, or do you want like a rooting interest?
No, to win. I'm sure the rooting interest would have been Carney, right?
Well, yeah, and it honestly probably would have been Carney too. Not only were they the 2 seed, but they had beaten every other team in the bracket outside of Southwest. And when you looked at how it all shook out, Marion, I was talking with one of the Nebraska Soccer Talk guys yesterday about this. Marion won't get the credit they deserve for the state championship because they didn't beat Lincoln Southwest, but they beat Kearney, who they had lost to earlier this year, and did so in kind of convincing fashion as well in that semifinal, and also kind of improved as the season went on. I saw them against Lincoln Southwest early in March, and that was not the same team that won the state championship last night. It was a very impressive and remarkable way for the team to get better and better as the year progressed.
So no real surprise in B with Pius?
No, not really.
Okay.
Pius was head and shoulders.
Was that 1-2 or 2-3? That was 1-2, right?
That was 1-2, but I don't want to discredit Blair by any means. I thought Pius was the best team in B this season. Blair was super good. And Cadence Field, come July, is about to get a lot of calls.
Here's the thing. So where would you I'm sure you weren't like
no, I was focused more on baseball yesterday.
She's incredibly athletic.
Yeah.
Like
sorry, that answer was really funny.
I mean, he's just being a Richard head.
No.
Yeah.
I'm talking so when I look at when I try to like it's kind of how I got into like Patila's or like her gait, and how she runs and how people. I'm a big how you move guy
at Bell West.
Yeah.
Okay.
Remember, I was like,
Yeah.
she's not even a long strider, but she's super efficient. And
Mhm.
like, I'm always looking at the kinesthetics. She is incredibly nimble and like bendy. You know what I like? You know what I mean?
Well, and then her ability to possess the ball in straight line speed and outrun someone to a corner or to a spot, because that's what great scorers do, is they beat you to the spot they're going to.
How about
and she did it more often than not.
You know, like I think soccer folks call that. What would my ex-wife? Yeah, she called that a first touch. It's like when balls are played into her feet, she can catch it like she's using her hands.
Yeah, the soft first touch.
Yeah,
yeah.
Like she has like just the feel, and I was like, that's definitely a skill.
Oh, 100%. It's something that like on the national team level, I know it's like the World Cup's coming up. The men's team has struggled. A lot of their like super athletic people have just like really heavy first touches.
Yeah, it's like
and the ball
hits
gets away
and
from
like,
them immediately. And like the U.S. has really had a hard time pairing historically the athleticism that they need to compete at the top end level. Like the guys that were super skilled were not the best athletes on the team.
And plus, how difficult would it be? We talk about deft or touch with like your hands and clubs and feel.
Yeah.
Are you supposed to do that with your lower limbs, man?
There's this story about Cristiano Ronaldo about how there was some reporter like following him around for a profile where
It wasn't Pablo Torre, was it?
It was not.
I just trying to throw you a boner, Austin.
Never throw me a boner.
I did throw you a link to that podcast. I don't know if you saw that. I hope that helps.
He doesn't want to be your friend.
And he literally is just this is his entire warm up as the rest of the teams like doing their stretches or whatever is he's going around the field. He's kicking the soccer ball up as high as he can and like catching it on his foot and then doing it again. And he does an entire lap around the pitch doing this.
Yeah, it's great. I mean,
and like I just don't understand. I probably couldn't do that with my hands without dropping it. Like whether it's like say it was a basketball or a volleyball or something, I probably could not throw it as high as I can, catch it, and just not drop it a single time.
With Delphine, like AJ, we've seen some explosive scoring in the last 2 or 3 years in soccer. I guess that's the way that this is moving.
I have been trying to get to the bottom of this a little bit, and I've been asking like some assistant coaches and stuff because my guess is that it's because of the booming ability of the travel teams in the summer to get better competition outside of the state that I think the players inside of the state are developing at a faster rate for soccer, like Defini, like Ansley Trainer, like Cadence Field, because they're all going to these super elite summer camps and summer teams and playing through the fall, that it's developing their skills in a way, especially in soccer, that you kind of need. And we see this at the international level too. It's not as transparent as like other sports. Basketball is probably a great example of it too. But internationally, the kids who are playing soccer the longest are the best at soccer, right? It's not like you can be really a 3-sport athlete and you're great at all of them. There are those exceptions, of course, but soccer seems specific that the longer you play it, the more you fine tune, the more you're refined in it, the better you're going to be above the rest of your competition.
You think we'll ever get to the point, you guys, where in the States where we value education so much, where we'll just be willing, and I'm not talking about IMG where they like go to fake school. I'm talking about where we like really sacrifice,
like the European academies,
not really going to school just to train for a sport.
Yeah, basically the European soccer academies model, where it's like, hey, you're 9 years old.
Listen, how about tennis?
100%.
Infamously tennis.
Yeah. Everybody, like if you get selected or chose, and it's honestly really,
I don't know if we do that in the States.
I mean, we do it with tennis in the States. We do. You know, like none of those, like they get tutored, but you know.
Yeah, we saw what happened to the Capriottis of the world.
Yeah,
not very smart.
We're trying to like handhold these people to a GED just so that like they.
Andre Agassi.
So, yeah, Agassi was a really.
I've studied that
awful situation,
backwards and forwards. I love.
It's a miracle that dude came out the other end of it.
Listen, he's one of my favorite athletes of any sport of all time.
The chances of him being dead versus ending up coming back and winning majors, like I would have bet on him dying.
Yeah,
like he was addicted to meth.
You fell below 200s in the rankings.
Yeah. He came back on like challenger circuits.
Yeah.
And ended up like that dude played and won. I think he won a major in like 05.
Yeah. He's my favorite.
Like as far as athletes who have come back from stuff, the only one that even is similar, and he didn't have the success on the front end, and he certainly didn't have the success on the back end. But in terms of having that long of a gap between prodigy and actually kind of fulfilling it at a high level, the only guy I can think of is like Josh Hamilton.
Yeah, when we saw and
he fell out again.
The parallels, yeah.
Right.
Again, another guy I used to cheer for. Josh Hamilton would tell stories how when he left the house, he could only have a certain amount of cash.
Yeah.
You know, because he couldn't use debit cards. He couldn't use he just didn't have control.
The control. That's there's this, you know who John Mulaney is?
No, but I do know Dave Ramsey. And when we got out of debt, we used cash envelopes for the week. And I can imagine the discipline that takes because that's brutal.
Yeah, it's that's rough. There's a comedian named John Mulaney that like he was addicted to coke, and like his system when he went to rehab was he could only have this much cash and all this. So he like started like laundering money from himself because he had to give a real reason to go. Like if he wanted extra cash, he'd be like, "Oh, I'm gonna go buy this watch." So he'd like go buy a Rolex and then go sell it on like the gray market back so he could have the cash that he wanted to go buy drugs. Like the lengths people will do when they're like actually addicted is kind of crazy.
So I've known guys like that. It's ridiculously smart, and it didn't have anything to do with drugs. But Eric Warfield was famously a spender of money, and I remember he and his agent when he talked. He first came, he was looking to invest, whether it was like laundromats or whatever. He's just looking for something to do from condos, like his business acumen. Like he put himself on a cash budget. Like just for the week, right? Because I mean, this is a guy. He'd invite me downtown. He and Amon lived in the same condo downtown, and I was like, this isn't going to be infinite now. You got to slow this down, right?
Chill a little bit. Yeah,
you pull that bottom freezer drawer open, and you're like, oh my gosh, what's that taste? Yeah, okay, that doesn't need ice. Yeah, well, that's $160. Yeah, that's like,
yeah,
you know. So it's like. I mean, I get it.
No, it can get away from you in a hurry. Like it can be a
Shane. You're not a cash. We had a partner that famously never carried cash. You do not like to carry cash.
No, I almost never do.
Suave, you a cash or plastic guy?
If I carry cash, it gets spent. I try not to carry it.
That's unbelievable.
So I'm like that. I'm the opposite with cash. The money that I have is the number in my bank account, right? So once I've withdrawn cash, that money's already spent in my mind. So like if I've got cash on me, I will spend it on whatever, because that's like when we go play poker or whatever, and I've pulled cash out for something else, I get real loosey-goosey with my buybacks because it's like I already accounted.
Yeah, you know what I think?
What's that?
And I'm not going to tell you this during the game.
Yeah.
I think it affects your aggressiveness.
It does. Because I'm just like, I got like 3 more 20s.
And that's how you play.
If I carry cash, I never spend it. Remember that $1 I found down at the bar?
Yeah.
It's still in my wallet.
Hey, dead serious. I don't know if you told him about that.
I was super excited. Oh, it was cash.
Hey, listen, this little dude was like, I said, Shane, what happened? He said, hey, man, I just found $1. I was like,
I got $1. I got $1. I got $1. Hey.
Oh, I was excited.
Yeah, it's my money is the number in my, like, I've got multiple, but like in the spending account, like that's the number, that's the amount of money I have. So once I've withdrawn that money, it is already spent.
AJ, what about you?
I'm anti-cash. I'm like Ravi, where every time I have cash, it's just free money for me. It's like I will spend cash like it is nobody's business.
Yeah, cash ironically feels way more fake to me than like whatever number is in my bank account.
Yeah.
Like it's monopoly money. Once, like these guys know when we go out to the College World Series this year, like after I've pulled a certain amount of cash out, like it's just like, what do you guys want? You want some? You want some Zestos? Where are we going?
Interesting.
That's the closest I've ever been to Ravi.
Ravi with cash at the baseball village is
That's like
you got to be next to him.
guys.
You're getting a shirt, you're getting a hat, you get whatever you want.
A shirt from one of these shops, it's yours.
So I know Ravi's not a dad, but we are his kids in the OBV. Like we literally will walk by an ice cream stand and he's just like, "You kids want ice cream?" And it's anything we want.
You guys don't understand behind the scenes because I talk to him all the time, right? And it's like, hey, I was such and such with Rico, or I was such and such with the guys, or I was such and such with Austin and Rico. And I'm like, they need their hand held? Like, you guys just like, it's weird.
Thank you, Papa.
You're not even that far removed.
Especially Rico. Rico's only like 5 years younger than I am.
Well, to be fair, we don't get enough attention at home, so that's why.
You don't get what?
We don't get enough attention at home, so that's why we have to do that.
No, you know what it is? You know where it started? I've known Rico for a long time at this point, and we've been pretty cool.
Yeah, I sent you a cursed image the other day.
And we did plot and scheme to get him here.
Yeah, like we did some doing to get him over here, and I was fairly involved in that.
Even then, I was like, I don't know why I like him. I don't really know him.
Yeah, he's got one of those personalities. You just kind of like draw.
I just thought he was funny, and people were vouching for him, so I was like, all right, I'm in.
And then Austin like works his tail, and Rico does too, but he like works his tail off.
I hate the fact Austin is smart. It pisses me off to no end.
And like we have a good time in the so a part of it too is like I know they have a lot of other stuff to do. So where it kind of started was I try and take them to lunch every once in a while to like thank them because they go above and beyond what I think their job descriptions are a lot.
I
and so I'm like, hey, like I can't give you a raise. I can't, whatever, but this is what I can do is I can, take you to lunch every once in a while to kind of as like a thank you.
I don't know how cash doesn't make you understand more what you're spending.
Not at all.
So you're not like hesitant to break a 20 or a 50?
No. If I have cash, I'm like, get this out of my pocket.
That is an interesting.
The thing that makes me hesitant is the number in my bank account going below a certain point.
Mm-hmm.
Like if I know
that's Caleb.
Like I have a certain amount that I want like a buffer of, and I don't let it go past that point. So whether that's like accounting for more money that month for spending or whatever, but like once the cash is out, that money is spent.
Yeah. So and that's a fantastic point, Kobe, because these people, I have to ask now, even at Warner the other day, right? I infamously or famously like to have cash.
Yeah.
And I'm getting something and it's like, oh, we're card only. And I'm like,
yeah, a lot of the places are now. A lot of them are card only.
So that's kind of throwing me a little bit.
Yeah.
Especially when, sometimes what you can't see, you just get a little loosey-goosey with. I think if I can see it, I can be it, right? Like,
yeah, I'm the exact opposite.
Yeah, it's fascinating.
I'm like, I will.
And so you don't count because you're just cheap, right? Like,
yeah, I'm pretty cheap.
Well, there's no question. By the way, are your meals done?
Yeah, I just finished it up yesterday.
All right, time to go shopping with Shane and DB.
Well, I told him you like for me to wait till Thursdays because it's fresh, right?
Yeah, Thursday's pretty fresh.
Will you know by tomorrow?
Yeah.
Okay. All right.
I'm the same way with, if anybody ever sends me like a Venmo or something and it like stays in your account balance until you move it out.
Yeah.
If it's in my account balance, that's not real money. I can spend that on whatever.
Well, you got some crazy rules.
Like if it's not in my account, if it's not in my proper bank
you're
account,
just thinking to yourself, oh, that was just income I wasn't.
Yeah, it's just money that I wasn't expecting, that I haven't, that I don't need, that it wasn't budgeted for, or I've already budgeted to be out. Like once it's in a different account, that money is gone from this account and is already spent, so I can do whatever I want with it. So if it's like Venmo balance, if it's cash, like anything like that, it's already spent. I'm gonna spend on whatever I want.
Definitely a guy that has no kids.
100%.
Definitely.
Yeah.
I mean, well, you have a couple.
Well, those are my adult children.
So, Austin, you want to walk me through baseball, or do you want to take a break?
We can do that, but if we're going to talk baseball before we get to that, to wrap up soccer, I'm making an open pitch right now. And Ravi, I know you're going to be out at Warner watching Millard North later today.
Let's go.
If we could all go to Morrison to watch Lexington Gretna at 4, I think that is like the number one spot to watch like any athletic contest today in Omaha.
Just because of the intensity?
I think it's going to be the best crowd of any of the state soccer championship games.
Yeah, Lexington is definitely all here.
Yeah, they are going to have a lot of emotion with it too. And I don't know if you will see a team that is outwardly like as talented as Gretna has been this season facing against a team that literally is fighting for so much. Like I don't know if we've seen like a school that has so much like riding on this game for their entire like county. I mean, it's an insane story.
So that's kind of how I felt about Skylar, but they ran into a buzzsaw.
Yes.
I love talking to somebody that actually is as passionate about high school sports as I am. So Action Jackson, no disrespect to Sauter, my man is, but it's different range of soccer. Yeah. AJ, if you're capping this match and we're talking about outsides and in the mids, who's more explosive?
Oh, Gretna by far. Gretna, I mean, they have probably two of the more elite scorers in Class B. And
for sure.
Yes, yeah. But Lexington has one battle tested themselves. I think that there's also the other part of this conversation where Lexington had to schedule themselves into very tough matchups to be ready for something like this. They drove to Omaha to play Papio South. They scheduled Central Nebraska Class A teams regularly to make sure that they were playing up to a different level. So they're going to be used to the speed that's coming with them. What comes with that too is there's a lot of depth for Lexington. And I don't know if Gretna is as prepared for what Lexington can kind of rotate and bring in. Gretna is very top heavy and talented. I know that they have like good depth, but Lexington, they can play almost every single kid on that bench because this is what they do. This is how they develop. Yeah. This is their thing like little known secret, Lexington actually has like soccer facilities in the town. It's super unique for a community like that to have that ability to basically develop your entire town to play boys soccer. And that's what Lexington does. And I mean, if you get into a long stretch of the game and if it goes into added time, you got weary legs, you might have to ride with Lexington, especially if it comes down to those final minutes.
I mean, losing the plant, the community rallying, or are they going to shut down? It's a heck of a story.
Did I read that right? 30% of the town was employed by Tyson?
Yes.
That's crazy.
Yes.
Like that's,
I mean,
and I know we saw
AJ, this isn't hyperbole just because I know so many people like out there. They were worried about how to keep the town thriving.
Yeah.
Well, and
it's 30% workers gets unemployed all at the same time. Like that's a,
I mean, TK knows we saw this in Wichita with a much bigger city.
Yeah, that's an existential crisis at that point.
Right?
Yeah.
I mean,
Austin, who was the girls wrestler from Lexington? Because this was kind of the first that you heard of that. That I was sort of made aware of how big that situation was with her emotion.
Not Orleans? Wait,
you remember her name, Austin?
Yeah, hold on. Ashley Nahara was her name. Yeah.
And she ended up winning the title in her division, right?
Yes, she was the heavyweight winner, yes.
Yeah. And she her emotion when
made me cry.
Yeah, like it was really
what?
It was
I was doing the interview and I couldn't keep it together.
You see, I'm not a machine.
No, it was it's hard not to root for Lexington. Right, like nothing against Gretna, but like,
wait, we don't need Austin's picture up there. We know who he is. Like, we can't gloss.
But the people might not know
until he's out bed hopping. Let them do that.
I'm more of a sausage guy, though.
You know what I mean?
The people need to know where the voice in the sky is coming from.
That's why I need Sasha here. She has the cool voice.
Her car blew up, so
I know that's what she said. And bless her heart, she's gonna drive that thing until the literal wheels fell off.
I know. I was talking. This was probably like a year ago, and she was like, "Yeah, I might need." I was like, "You should probably work on that."
Listen, so I'm to the point now where I just associate that vehicle with her.
It's true. Every time I see it, I'm like, "Oh, Sasha's here."
And you know what? It fits her. It's her personality.
Yeah.
Like, F it. This is what I do.
We're gonna grind this thing out.
Yeah. It's fine.
Like when we're in meetings, stop being a baby. Just do it. Okay, grow up. Tough it out. Weird.
Yeah, I think there's a certain amount of grittiness that her vehicle requires.
Yeah, I'm cool with that. Plus, I want a pickup truck at some point.
You are. You love your pickup trucks. You had one for a little bit, didn't you?
No.
I thought you had a deal where you had one for a little bit.
I did. And I had two. And the S71, the silver, that one was too big.
Mm-hmm.
So I had a smaller one, and I was like, I could probably get used to this.
Was that like the Colorado?
Yeah, but the kids they were smaller, so to put them in the cat, it was
you needed
like,
room.
I'm like, I don't know. Is this?
You go back and get one now.
I have a couple more years left on my sweet vehicle.
But you still got, I mean, Zoe's big enough. You can just put her. She can be front seat now, can't she? Or no?
Yeah. So I missed her game last night because we had parent meetings at the high school, and she's sick. She threw up in the car.
Really?
Yeah. Caleb's. So he's like, hey, player of the game or whatever is not feeling good. She has a headache. So I looked at the text during the team meeting, and she's like laying in the back seat of the car. And I was like, make sure her neck isn't hurt. Like, why is she laying like that? And then, 5 minutes later, she threw up in the car.
Yeah, that's tough, man.
She's at the house chilling.
Don't like to hear that.
Yeah, we don't have to worry about her walking in. I guess we'll talk baseball at some other point. Hey, yeah, Lee, you know all about that.
Shane, there
is because he's out there in the Cozad area.
Probably got to take a break at some point.
Shane, there is 7 minutes left until the top of the hour.
Are you gonna take a break at like 8:05? That'd be like.
I was gonna take a break at like 7:56.
That'd be like
what are we gonna do? Have a 7-minute break, Shane? What are we doing? Like you.
I sent that pitch count box score from the St. Paul game to the group chat.
Yeah, we don't have a guest at 8, right? We can.
Shane show, man. You
right.
guys sick of hearing from Austin?
You can roll over. You do that a lot.
No, it's fine. I guess we'll just come back whenever Shane's ready. We'll talk to you guys later.
Oh, big rollover guy.
Well, he's got some rollover here in a second.
It's time for Stars, Stripes, and Savings at Edwards Hyundai. Lease the 2026 Hyundai Palisade SE all-wheel drive, starting at $339 a month. Big savings to start May right. 2 great Hyundais, 1 big May event. Let's go. We've also got the 2026 Hyundai Elantra SE. Sign and drive for $0 down, starting at $249 a month. Don't wait. Get in on Stars, Stripes, and Savings this May at Edwards Hyundai.
Yeah, when John says, "Hey, we want you for something," it gets your attention, and you're typically inclined to say yes. And back then, I was inclined to say yes. I'd had some family commitments that we'd had on the calendar for a couple of years earlier. I have 2 daughters. One's a sophomore. Well, she was a sophomore in college. She spent her last half of her sophomore year in Spain doing study abroad. And my youngest is just graduated from high school. She graduated early. So we had this little travel window with our family. And my wife kind of cooked up this trip where we were going to go around the world together with our 17-year-old and then meet our other daughter there in Spain to finish off the trip. And so we'd had that on the books for a long time. And I told John, I said, I just can't get out of this. My wife would kill me, and plus I'm looking forward to it. And so that happened. And then when the coaching change was made earlier this season, those conversations that we'd had previously started to kind of redevelop and found ourselves where we are today.
It's time for Stars, Stripes, and Savings at Edwards Kia. Lease the 2026 Kia Sportage EX starting at $259 a month. A great lease to kick off May. 2 Kias, 2 reasons to celebrate. Only at Edwards Kia. We've also got the 2026 Kia K4 GT starting at $239 a month. Don't wait. Get in on Stars, Stripes, and Savings this May at Edwards Kia.
Welcome to Hurrdat Sports Live.
Welcome back, Hurrdat Sports Live, presented by Next Gen Male Medical. Thank you to our overlord, Shane Schillerberg, for allowing us to come back.
He's giving me a little more. Who's the dude that ended up not getting along with Darth Vader?
Most people, I think.
No.
Obi-Wan?
Oh, probably all the people he killed.
Darth, is it Sidious?
Darth Sidious?
Sidious?
Yeah.
No, Darth Sidious was the one that was like the older one that taught.
They didn't get along.
Right.
Yeah, at the end, like a Return of the Jedi, like he kills him.
Rico, he threw Darth Sidious down a shaft.
Yeah, he threw him down a well.
And it was like,
yeah.
Do what must be done.
They got along perfectly fine until then.
Shane, I'm going to ask something of you, and I'm fair warning. When you say however much time and then we're back on camera like immediately, that's going to aggravate me. So we have to do whatever it is, whether you need to flag me down.
I need to start yelling. Need a microphone. Need to strain my voice.
Yeah. Oh, God. We're 12 feet away. You're not going to strain your little vocals. But hey, I mean, Ravi could just as well be picking his nose. You know what I mean? And then all of a sudden we're back.
I don't care.
Yeah, that's one of the good things about my finger injury. I don't have very good range of motion, so I may have a dirty nose, but at least I can't pick it. But anyway, I'm going to need you to give a little more warning. Okay? So I could be who knows what I could be doing. And all of a sudden we're back on camera.
I ain't got no idea. I don't even recognize what we're doing.
It's fine, Shane. You're still my boy.
We're going to set the lineup. Okay? You ready?
Are we? I thought you forgot who was on the show.
I looked it up. I remember now. We've got Andy KENDEIGH at 8:30. We've got Steve MARIK at 9 o'clock from inside Nebraska. Do a little deep dive on the red zone offense we were talking about earlier this week. And we've got Mitch Sherman from The Athletic joining us at 9:30.
Mitch, yeah, we had to push Mitch back, right? Mitch is busy.
right, good talk.
I'm eating.
You literally asked him a question as he ate a snack.
He's got his cheeks full like a goddamn squirrel, and he goes,
Which cheeks?
Well,
I got dropped for all of you.
what's
Why
that?
don't you go outside and play a game of hide and go yourself?
Jiminy Chris, dude, just. Oh man, you just sitting on stuff like that, Shane?
Don't say it like that. Why are you saying it like that?
Well, he's still trying to figure out which cheeks you're talking about. That's why.
Wow. Wow.
Funky says Maurice cheeks? Mo cheeks?
Oh.
DB's a big Mo cheeks guy.
No, I can't stand Mo cheeks.
Not what I meant.
I already told you it's overrated. Never mind. Knock it off. No, never. We're not. Is that him laughing? It's fine. I would like when I just to let people know that I was kind of like coming.
Well, that's not me.
I like how Shane disses himself when when it's a drop. He's like, "That wasn't me. I didn't do it."
Well.
TK has strong feelings about this subject.
Jeez, TK. He doesn't miss a goddamn thing.
Chuck says, "Mo cheeks, mo problems."
It's thick.
All right.
It's just Ravi's delivery. It's not
No.
what I was talking about.
I need to learn how to control the buttons. Somebody gonna learn me?
I'm not gonna.
What? That's a legit question.
I mean, I don't even control the buttons. I don't have any control over buttons.
That doesn't make me feel any better.
Well, we're in the same boat. Just rowing like PJ.
All right.
Row the boat. Big Fleck guy. You love PJ Fleck. That's your guy.
I don't love him. I respect him. He does a good job.
He does. He does a good job.
Dude, Lee's a menace.
I told you I met Lee, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, over at one of the watch parties for the Nebraska basketball games. Good
nothing like you really thought, huh?
I didn't really know what to expect.
Yeah.
Like I didn't have a preconceived notion like I do with some people.
I told you, deceptively bright.
Yeah, good dude. He had a son with him, which was cool.
Oh, I didn't know that. How old?
Little guy. I
didn't know that.
I think under a year, if I remember.
Oh,
right.
that's why.
Yeah, I'm
fresh off the press.
Yeah, I'm not good at knowing anything about other people's children, but I think he was under a year.
Oh, good for you.
No, he was cool. It was cool. We hung out for quite a while.
Him and I know, man. I couldn't hit eject fast enough. And they catch my mumbles, which really pisses me off. It's like I didn't even really spit it out, and it's like,
I mean, you are mic'd up. That hurts your cause a bit.
Yeah, whatever.
Whispering doesn't help that much.
You guys want to help me with some rules
You want
before
to talk about state baseball?
I do, because it's not the fact that West Side lost as a 1.
Yeah, that's tough. Like
Not mad about that.
They had the Gotti record. Like that's tough, man. Because what were they? 31-3.
Yeah.
That sucks.
Yeah, as the 1 seed. And
I do feel like obviously I'm rooting for Millard North, but like I do feel for teams that have
no. Well, you don't have to root for Millard North.
Yeah, I don't have to. I have the privilege of rooting for Millard North.
Okay. You say it different.
It's a gift to be able to root for the Mighty Mustangs of Millard North.
Yeah.
But I do feel when there's teams that have, especially at this level, because there's a lot of those kids like aren't going to play baseball in college. Like this is it, right? And so when they have kind of gaudy records and have like incredible regular seasons, like I do feel for those guys when it ends in a way that, like, obviously it's not going to end great for everybody. I get that. But there is a part of me that's just like, man, that, like, whether it's Lincoln East, like, I think 29-2 coming into this, West Side was 31-3. Like, there's a certain level.
Golden State 72-10.
73-9. They broke the record. All right. It's the greatest regular season of all time. I don't need your slander here. Okay. It's the only single digit losing.
Rico, how about those Patriots? Undefeated.
I mean, it's different when they're.
We might not be friends.
Yeah.
As a hairball.
It's different when they're professionals, though, right? Like, you still feel for them in a way, but it's a different thing. And so, like, I do feel bad for Westside this morning. That's tough. It is. I'm being genuine.
You know what the funny thing is? I can't ever tell.
Well, that's why I gotta tell you sometimes.
Just keeping it a buck.
But no, the thing you're talking about is Central City and GACC, which that game is being resumed at 10 a.m.
10 a.m.
Over at Papio South, because it was played under protest last night after GACC put a pitcher in that exceeded the pitch count. Central City noticed. They advised people. They put it under protest. So it's scheduled to be resumed. Bottom of the 7th, 0 outs, runner on second, 0-1 count with GACC up 2-0.
Can I say something real quick?
Yeah, absolutely.
Can you just rewind just like 20 seconds and say no outs?
Yeah, 0 outs.
No, 0 outs. 0?
I mean, there's 0 outs. I don't know.
Can you just say no outs?
What's the problem here?
I don't hear 0 outs a lot.
0 outs. 0.
You're just not going to do it for me, are you?
At this point, since you made a thing about it, probably not. If I had to be honest with you.
Just a lot of idiots I work with. Like, can anybody just be cool for the sake of being cool?
You know that's almost certainly not going to happen. At least not with me. Bottom of the 7th inning, a total lack of outs. Nobody has any outs.
You ever heard anybody say, "Hey, 0 down"?
Nobody down. Nobody down.
None down.
Nobody down.
No outs. Do you read the small score first?
Always. Well,
is it 0-2?
It depends on the sport, because sometimes in tennis, if the
15-40.
Well, yeah, that happens. And also, if the winner of the match loses some sets, then you say their score first all the time.
God, I hate.
So I could beat you like 6-4, 4-6, 6-3, and you would say the 4-6, and that's the correct order. You good?
I legit hate your guts.
Bottom of the 7th inning, nobody out. Runner on second. Can I say 0-1 count? Would that make you uncomfortable?
Yes. Yes.
I hate it here.
0-1 count. Is that better?
Yeah.
0-1 count. And then can I say GACC is leading 2-0? Is that okay?
Yeah.
Okay. That's the only place the 0 is appropriate in that sentence.
0-0, but I mean, it's whatever.
2-0. Is that better?
It's like,
anyway, the reason we're talking about this is because when a pitcher exceeds the pitch count, according to the NSAA rules, unless there is some clause here that we are missing, which I don't believe there is, but we're open to it, this game should have been forfeited by the rules.
By the rules, it's typically an ejection and a forfeit.
Yeah, the head coach is ejected, and the team that violates the pitch count is ejected. Obviously, there's some circumstances here that apparently were taken into account. We were trying to get a hold of some people at the NSAA to get clarity.
Well, Colton Weberski is
the baseball director.
Is the baseball director. I reached out, haven't heard back from him. I called Jeff Johnson early this morning, who's the exec direct, and wasn't quite clear on the clarity. And I'm more than willing to say I don't know. Yes. But we're clearly missing something. And here's the thing. The importance of it is you're getting ready to set precedent, because the minute, and AJ or Austin, you guys can interject here, the minute that game is resumed,
you have precedent.
You have precedent set that
you can use your pitchers outside the pitching rules.
Yeah.
Yeah, and
why would everyone not do that?
just to add to that too, DB, like you're saying, yes, this is at the highest stake. It's an elimination game at the state tournament. But imagine that this is a district final that this happens. They're setting a state tournament field, and we have to go back and replay a district final because a team sees what happens from this game and applies that same rule to give themselves extra life, essentially, at the end of a game 2 days later to get into a state tournament or whatever the case is, right? So I'm not saying that they may say like, hey, this is special circumstance because of whatever reasoning or whatever the case may be. But I'm very interested in just to see how this all turns out. And honestly, I always root for the NSA because I think they get a lot of flack for things that are outside of their control.
I agree with you here, Action Jackson, because I think that's why I want to give every opportunity to talk to Colton,
which we're trying to get a hold of,
just to see if I'm not missing something, because I do worry about people gaming the system, because I'm not sure. Like, why not just sign the? And I don't know if it was the story right now is that the pitching sheet was not signed.
Mm-hmm. That's the information we currently have.
That's
as far as we know. That's accurate.
Up to this minute, the information we have is that the pitching count sheet wasn't signed by their head coach. So I'm wondering like what we're missing here.
Yeah, I mean, unless there is something we're missing, this is a bad look. Like, this is a really bad look unless there's a factor here that we are not aware of that is active, and not just, hey, this is special circumstances, we want to do this, but like something actively written in the books already, because this is literally the time that this rule matters the most.
Yeah.
Like, this is the one time where it's like, it has to be enforced.
And so that's my question is, does it become a question of intent, or does it become a question of legislation? Because if the team that had the pitcher came out and knew that this was a thing, right, and then pitched over the pitch count, and they did it with intent, and then the intent from the opposite side was, well, we knew that they were over, so we were going to try to make the rules bend for our sake and for what benefits us, then I think both parties are in the wrong. But if it was just like oops, miscounted, whatever, then I think legislation has to like win out, right? Because then it's, hey, these rules are firm and strict for a reason. We have to make sure that these are,
I don't know.
You know, they go out the way that we wrote them.
I don't know about that, AJ.
I disagree, especially on the Central City part of this, because if you know that someone is actively breaking a rule, like, it's not your obligation to save them from themselves. Like, if you know hey, we're aware of this situation, and if this guy,
somebody save me.
I don't know what that song is.
It's Jelly Roll.
That's why I don't know what that song is.
God, it's amazing how my music Tourette's just kicks in. I'm sorry.
I don't know. Like, I don't think it's up to Central City or whoever in this situation to say before the guy throws a pitch, like, hey, you don't want to throw that. Like, that's not my job in that situation. If they're sending him out there, and maybe I'm reading too much into this, but the unsigned pitch sheet indicates to me that they knew what they were doing.
I don't know. So I'm getting from about 6. This is the 6th coach now, plus an AD that says they haven't signed the pitch sheets before at state.
Okay. So if that's not common practice,
now
fair.
So far,
okay.
I haven't heard from a Class A coach, so I don't know
how common that is.
How common it is.
Okay, fair. So I'll leave the unsigned pitch sheet out of this. But if I'm the team that is on the wronged end of a rule breaking, it's not my job to save them from breaking a rule that could cost them the game. That's not my job.
Can I just tell you why this is kind of important? Because number one, there is the precedent thing, but and I don't know if I said is or was, but former exec direct Jeff Johnson that I talked to before was part of a huge deal when Gretna football had to forfeit to Westside.
Yeah.
Okay.
In the highest possible stage.
On the biggest stage in a game in which they clearly won.
Yeah.
Now, the detractors would say Gretna knew, right? Gretna was aware. Gretna's athletic director, their staff, their football coach, they've got whatever they felt to. And not to relitigate it, but the story was of the game, why it was handled so harshly was there was gamesmanship going on, and it was brought to their attention ahead of time, and they did it anyway.
Gotcha.
I feel like that's as objective as a guy that coaches for the losing team can be.
Yeah.
That was the perception publicly.
I think that's fair.
Had a ton of conversations, talked to people on their school board. We said we weren't going to blow this out of it, weren't going to make it unnecessary, whatever. I want to adhere to that. So I do think it's important to understand, if you know something is going on and you do it anyway, is there a difference? Even if you're Central City, and let's say like they're well aware, right? Let's say they are, and I'm not sure.
Yeah,
but it's like, okay, we have score sheets, we have logs, it's NSAs, PDF. You can get pitch counts. I'm sure they're following on Game Changer, because just the day before, Austin, what was I floored with that Mount Michael did against Central City?
Pulled their guy. Just with the, like, what, 3 innings that he had 7 strikeouts in.
He's got a scoreless shutout going in the 5th, and I think the strategy was save him. We're at 5-0.
Yeah,
we got 9 outs to get. Central City immediately scores 5 in the bottom of the 5th, right? So coaches are aware of the maneuvering. And baseball, I think we overthink it anyway. About, like, because at that point, I just think you got to win the game.
Yeah.
But I've always been like that,
Yeah.
right?
Figure tomorrow out
Figure it out tomorrow.
Yeah.
Especially in these double elimination formats. And so let's say whatever side knew, I don't know if I'm going to be down on Central City to wait till he throws a pitch to say we're going to play the game under protest.
Yeah, that's not my job. It's not my job to protect the other team from breaking a rule. Whether they know or not, that's not my job. My job is to say, hey, you broke this rule. We're playing this under protest. But I don't understand like that. I don't think that's a bad look for Central City.
Well, and DB, you know this as well, too. This is huge in Legion baseball with eligibility when it comes to how you play travel and how you're playing like in other circuits and stuff. I mean, big deal a couple years ago. I think the American Legion had to can a championship game because a coach knew that a player was ineligible and reported it right as soon as that player like stepped up to bat.
Yeah.
So
I think that's pretty. I mean, I think that's pretty standard to like.
And I'm not lobbying for a forfeit or the ejection or whatever, like retroactive. What I'm saying is, I just want to know why.
I'm lobbying for the rules to be enforced as they're written. If there
I just think you're in a danger zone.
That's what I mean. Like if you're going off book because of the circumstances, you're in a really dangerous spot.
Yeah.
Right. That's why. And listen, I'm not rooting for any like it sucks for the team and everybody to have to forfeit because of whether intentional or not actions. But
so if WP wins, like, can he pitch again?
I don't know.
No, like, he shouldn't. From my understanding, he is pretty much done. I think he may be able to pitch like a very limited count if they were to play Friday, but that would be it.
So no double jeopardy here.
I don't think if you've maxed out your pitches in 2 games that you've played, there's just no way that you could pitch Friday, I would assume.
Yeah, I don't know what the numbers are on a day-to-day in terms of pitch counts. So I don't know off the top of my head, but that is
Big Red Gun is hilarious.
Yeah, that was a really funny poll. That was really funny.
I gotta stop giving him credit.
You have to, unless there is a clause or some sort of like on the books already written that we don't know about currently that allows for some interpretation by the NSAA's part. I think they're in a really bad spot to have this not be forfeited.
Hey, Suave, let me ask you a question because I haven't heard your lovely little kid voice. How would you like to be the team that catches that has to come back? Right? Do you look at it as, hey, we got a chance, runner on second, no outs, zero outs,
not a soul out,
bottom of the 7th, we got another deal, let's go get it? Or wait, why are we having to do this when
they should have to forfeit?
Rules were broken? How would be honest? How would you look at it? Because you're the closest. No, Austin's actually the closest.
Austin would be the closest,
but he's the worst athlete. So how would you? Of the two.
That's so true. That's so real.
No, it's not of the two.
I know, it's just funny thing. Like, it just sounded funny.
I'm sorry.
The guy that runs marathons is the worst athlete.
I didn't mean to be offensive.
It just came out funny.
The Iron Man is the worst athlete.
So, bro, I walk like a duck in this office. There's no way I'm the best athlete here.
So, Rico, you get cooked in the 300s, right? But he's like, I don't know. He's on.
Let's say he pops positive for something.
You want another crack at it,
or you just want him to forfeit? Like, you get second.
You lost by 2 seconds. Like,
you're in second.
You're not close.
He gets
as a competitor, like I want to show that I'm better, but at the same time, like I got smoked, found out he was cheating. Give me that win.
Yeah, because I'm just telling you, when Gretna beat us, I wasn't like, oh, let's play that again. Like, we had 4 quarters to figure it out, and they beat us.
Yeah,
like I lost. That sucks. You cheated, so I didn't lose. The only reason you won isn't because you're better than me, is because you did something you weren't supposed to do. I don't want to have to prove that I'm better than you. I know I am. You had to cheat to be better than me, and that's how I know I'm better. Give me the win.
Yeah, I think if you're,
I just think it's interesting how you approach it.
Yeah,
right. You're going to drive an hour 50. You waited because one thing I do understand clear is that NSAA and the people from Central City were saying this last night. They were waiting for the ruling because NSAA had to go back and rewatch.
Yeah, they had to literally count the pitches.
You had
right?
to count pitches.
Yeah, so that took a while, right?
I mean, can you imagine?
Like that took a while. So they didn't. I mean, and they went home, right?
Yeah.
So they went home. They got to come back at 10 o'clock in the morning. Like, you're not doing them any favors. And like I said, unless there is something already written on the books that gives the NSAA some kind of leeway in this situation, this is a really, really bad look. And both of us, we try and defend the NSAA. They get, like Austin said, they get a lot of slings and arrows that are not necessarily their fault or things they deserve. But if there's not something already written that allows them to do this and they're going off book here, this is a terrible look.
And the other thing is I think with the pitch count rules, you do have designated pitch count people.
Yeah, you got people, because it's a rule. You have to pay attention. Yeah. It's like in a basketball game. Like, there was a stretch in my career where I was the timeout guy. I had to know how many timeouts were. If my head coach called a timeout that we didn't have, that was on me.
Yeah.
Right? Like, that's a job on the coaching staff. It's a job on the coaching staff to know how many fouls the guys have, right? Like, if I put a guy, if I let my coach put a guy back in that's got 4 fouls with 10 minutes left in the game, and he fouls out, that's on me, right? Like, there is a pitch count guy that you have, like, that's his job. Like, this is not a surprise. This isn't something that they just spring on you at the last second. Everybody knows about these rules, right? This isn't. Like, that's why I have no problem with Central City waiting until the rule is violated. Because what are you going to tell them? Like, oh, these guys might break a rule? Like, that, I don't know. That doesn't make any sense to me either. It's like, I don't know if you ever, what's the Tom Cruise movie, Minority Report? Like, you can't report a crime before it's committed.
Yeah.
I don't know what Central City is supposed to do there.
I'll be curious. See what happens.
And to be fair, Ravi, I mean, to your exact point, it's not like Central City knew that they were going to put in an ineligible pitcher either, right? Like, they probably knew who was not going to throw because obviously they were like, okay, whose pitch count is where? Like, who do we expect to throw? They probably looked at, like, who had thrown through the season, what to expect, that sort of thing. And so as soon as that person goes out, it probably wasn't the intent of Central City to say, oh, we're expecting them to throw the pitcher that they can't throw. They just knew that guy shouldn't be out there.
Not eligible today, right? Yeah. Like, you probably have a list of guys. We don't have to worry about them today because they're over their pitch counts. They're not going to pitch today. Yeah. And then when you see one of those guys trot out there, you're like, wait, I'm sorry, what? What's happening right now? Like, that makes a lot of sense, Austin. Like, that is probably how it played out.
And you've got soccer today, right, Neutron?
Yeah, I might pop over to B baseball after the show to see what I can do for gross, but we'll see how much baseball I can fit in today.
So B's back at Fricky, right?
I think they're at Tal.
So Fricky's done as a site because they had nothing the other day too.
Yeah, so it's Papio South, Werner, and Tal. Yeah, so Class B is at Tal today.
Yeah, the only reason I ask is because that's closer to my house. Neither are super far.
Yeah, it's not bad.
I mean, they're probably equidistant.
Probably pretty close. Yeah, Fricky's not far from you at all, is it?
No,
that's like right down the street.
Yeah.
Tal's not terrible though.
No, it's not.
It's a good venue too. I like that venue.
The only problem with Tal is I have to, if I take the interstate to 72nd, I'm not enamored with that exit.
Oh, no.
Or,
Yeah.
you know, but it's not like,
it's not awful.
It's not like I'm in Dallas.
So we got 3 state events going on today.
You got what?
We got 3 state events going on today.
Dude, it's so Austin and I, that was the main conversation with the rain coming on. Was that Monday, AJ?
Yeah, that was Monday. And luckily,
we're like
no delays yesterday, which is a miracle.
We were like, this is going to be jammed because Thursday was really the only built-in day.
Yeah. Well, and then Friday, not that you guys necessarily care, but we got girls state tennis on Friday too.
No, I understand. So when Sasha asked me about when is state tennis, I was like, you know what? I'm proud of our little company for being everywhere.
Friday.
Omaha is popping right now.
There's a lot going on.
Big Ten baseball, state baseball, state soccer, state track.
How about
state
Nebraska?
tennis?
The 6A, the 6P game on Friday or 5?
Oh, it's 5, right? Yeah.
Yeah. Like,
no, that thing's gonna be bumping
deep.
Yeah.
5 o'clock Friday, Big Ten tournament, Nebraska.
I have a feeling some people might get off work a little early to pregame that mug.
I feel so bad from what exactly Rico just said that, like, if you live in Omaha, you're like, wow, look at all this stuff going on. It's going to be Big Ten tournament, all these state events. You could go to any sporting event you want. And then we're literally having maybe the biggest moment in Nebraska softball the same day in Lincoln.
Yeah.
It's like, oh, crap.
It's just a travesty.
Yes.
Right? Like,
can we move that to Connie Clausen just to make it all easier? Let's centralize this thing.
Listen, and here's the thing.
I don't think they got enough seats over there, bud.
16,000 strong will be represented at both venues.
Yeah.
Bowling they're going to get their 3.
Yeah.
And the Schwab will have 13.
They're going to be I think we're going to be rolling deep. We'll be all right.
So, like, there's plenty of love to go around, but
I'll be there for softball on Thursday.
Okay.
It's going to be nuts.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to this one a ton because I don't know.
I really thought they were going to get by Tennessee last year. Like they're
right there.
Watching that, I'm like, they've got this, and then just can't. Especially because they won game 1,
and
right?
It's funny you bring up Tennessee too, because AJ or this is more Rico. You'd agree Tennessee probably has the only comparable, not the only, one of the few comparable 1-2 punches in the country that Nebraska has.
Yeah.
Texas Tech. They got the transfer in.
Yes.
Yeah.
But they've been just okay.
Yeah, KENDEIGH hasn't been as elite as she was at Stanford in her first year at Texas Tech.
Last year. Yeah, last year.
But I mean, she's still an amazing pitcher. But yeah, you're right. She hasn't been. I mean, she was pitching in the Big 12 championship game, and they lost 4-0 to Arizona State. So, who is in supers right now? But still, that's not something that you would have expected from KENDEIGH and Texas Tech. So, but no, Tennessee. Yeah, probably that 1-2 punch is pretty strong. Their offense has been a little hit and miss. It's been better in the regionals, but it's been pretty hit and miss this season. And then, I mean, you guys talking about pitch counts, non-existent this weekend.
No.
Ruby Malin is going.
I wonder if she does go game 3 if there's an if necessary, though.
She's pitching every single pitch.
Okay.
If they lose game 1, she's throwing game 2. And if they win game 2, she's throwing game 3.
I'm just going to if necessary.
I'm saying if they go all 3, she's pitching all 3.
Right.
Like Nebraska can throw Alexis in there if they want and have Jordy close it out and like have no fear that Alexis is going to do her thing. But Oklahoma State, like Ruby is throwing every single pitch if they need it.
Yeah,
she's going to be going back to Stillwater either with her shield or on it to quote 300.
Hey,
one of DB's favorite movies
and one of the greatest. And he said, "Yes, my queen."
This is.
That's what I say to you.
That's where Austin gets it from.
I
Give them the
Richard Heads. Can I listen?
DB, who are the bad guys in 300?
Oh my God.
I'm just saying the Persians are making a lot of good points here.
What, you think I was gonna ride with them just because they're dark skinned? Come on, man.
Whoa.
What?
No, we just don't have a hard time figuring out who the bad guys are in movies.
Technically, the Spartans have like olive skin, so it's a little.
Hey guys, the secret's out. Don't let KJ know I'm not the bully of the show.
Yeah, aren't the Spartans Italian or something?
Dude literally just said, "Could a show go by where I don't make fun of a coworker?" Is he on drugs?
Leonidas Ferrari.
I'm far from a victim. Nice hot take, KJ.
No, I'm definitely the bully on this show. It's
because
fine.
you're a dick.
You actually said it. I'm so proud of you.
Dude, you're bad.
Robbie, you're naughty.
I'm laughing. I'm just laughing.
That's how I imagine Shane goes home every day. He's like, I'm laughing. Let's take a quick break.
Have you seen that little girl?
No. I have not.
It is hilarious because
I'm laughing.
she literally wants to cry. Like something's clearly wrong with her, and she's trying to play it off. I'm gonna send it to you guys.
Let's take a quick break. We got Andy Kendi.
Yes, Carol. That's part of the. He said, "Should umpires be?"
Oh
okay.
yeah,
that's part of the angst.
Yeah.
Yes.
I don't know.
We
can talk to Andy Kendi about it.
Yeah.
Maybe he'll have some thoughts.
Well, he probably did his homework.
Coming up next, KETV. We'll be right back here on Hurrdat Sports Live.
It's time for Stars, Stripes, and Savings at Edwards Chevrolet. Save $12,000 off MSRP on the 2026 Chevrolet Silverado 1500 RST, a truck deal worth celebrating. 2 Chevys, 2 ways to save, this May only. We've also got the 2026 Chevrolet Trax 1RS starting at $299 a month. Don't wait. Get in on Stars, Stripes, and Savings this May at Edwards Chevrolet. Together, let's drive.
I think it's critical, and it's one of the big jobs that I have in front of me is to create great relationships everywhere I go with fans, with staff, and then especially with the athletes. And it's something that I'm going to work on really, really hard. I don't know that I've always been the very best that I could be in the past, and I was learning some lessons along the way about how critical it really is. And so I think everything about what we do as volleyball coaches is about relationships, and we're going to ask the athletes to work really hard. We're going to ask them to make changes. We're going to ask them to do things that they didn't think they could do before, and all of that doesn't work if you don't have the kind of relationship where you can make those asks and you can push in the way you'd like to push. And so creating those relationships, developing those relationships in a genuine, honest, and sincere way, I think is one of my biggest jobs.
You're listening to Hurrdat Sports Live.
Like you got something smart to say now?
Get him, Shane. This might be the most childish show ever. Oh my gosh. Get him, Shane. You did blow that though.
I didn't blow it. He put me on the screen. I think the mic should be on. If my face is on the screen, my mic should be on. I don't think that's a crazy assumption to
I
make.
put you on the screen, and then there's usually 4 or 5 seconds.
Oh.
Because then I hit the music bed, then you go.
Yeah, Ravi, act like you've been doing this before.
Why was there no music bed for several seconds? Then?
Because I noticed you get all a little bit huffy there.
So you're gonna make it worse?
Dude said huffy. Oh, you getting all huffy?
I'm just saying, what are we doing here?
You're like a BMX over there.
Oh, geez.
If I'm sitting here and I'm on the screen, I don't hear music. I feel like my mic should be on.
Can we just get to our guest, please? He'll save me.
I don't think he's gonna save you.
Somebody save
You act like I'm not gonna
me.
bring this up later. Let's get to Andy Kendi from KETV. AK, what's going on, buddy?
Well, I'm just curious of what's going on your end.
Hey, listen, just a lot of people that pretend to get along.
Let me ask you a question, Andy. If
Okay, yeah. Hypothetically speaking,
not something that has never happened to anyone.
No. I got you. I follow.
If you're doing a TV segment, right? If your face, you've got a monitor, right, that you can see. If your face pops up on that monitor, do you assume your mic is on?
Well, TV's a little different though, Ravi. We got if my face is on the monitor, that sometimes is in the preview monitor, so I don't necessarily know that that's live or not.
Okay, is there a way for you to indicate that your face is live on the broadcast?
Yes, there is, but there's a green light that goes on when your mic's on.
So if your face is live on the broadcast, is generally speaking the mic should be on?
Usually yes, but I usually wait until the green light's on to speak. Hopefully.
So if you didn't have the green light, how would you have a green light?
This is what we call leading questions. I object, Your Honor.
Overruled. We don't have a green light. Have a green light. So in that situation, let's say you're going back to your roots in small town Wisconsin. Maybe you're in like Platteville or somewhere. Maybe. And
Potosi, sure.
And you're going, hey, I don't have my green light.
Ask the questions like this.
Sure, why not? There's no green light. You're kind of doing a low budget thing. You're trying to get started in the game, and you just go like, hey, my face is on the screen saying it's live. We don't have a green light.
Sure.
What's your assumption in that situation?
Then I guess in that situation, 40 years ago or 30 years ago, I would assume that we were alive.
Okay. That's all. I'm just wondering, maybe we need a green light. Maybe that's what I learned here.
Maybe you need a green light.
AK, I think you're hilarious. You know, the funny thing about this discussion is I can't stand when, and this happens because it's hard in television, especially because you guys go live so much to wherever you are on location. When you're actually done talking and the camera stays on you. I'm like, hey, can you get me off that thing? I'm done. What's my expression supposed to be?
Plus, there's always a little delay too, so you're on there even longer than you think you're on there. So you really got to hold that little nod, that little smirk thing you going. So you gotta really stick the landing and just hold it. Yeah, definitely.
Do you practice your knowing nod? You're like,
no.
This is why I hate.
I don't.
I'm telling you, this is the backstory. This is why I hate pictures.
Yeah.
Because I don't like phony expressions.
Yeah.
So
That's true.
when people get ready to take a picture, I said, just count me down and then I'll give you the look. I'm not holding any expression.
This is DB every time somebody takes a picture.
That's so I just the dick. You just can't.
You could have said Richard.
AK, I was in your neighborhood the other day. I wanted to knock on your door.
Well, you should have. Why didn't you?
My little cousin had her graduation party. They live right on 140th, in your neighborhood. So just I think a couple blocks over from you. Not to give up your exact address. Did he pause again? Yeah,
I think we froze.
AK pausing. What is that?
What is happening right now?
I feel like that was that Deliverance.
It's
I didn't like that. I didn't like that at all.
Sounded like a Simon game or
Wow,
something.
there I am. Hey, listen, what
like
the hell's going on in here?
Deliverance, and I was like, "Don't say a word about my mouth." I'm sorry. AK, you can't take me anywhere. In reference to the picture, taking pictures. That's
yes,
what we're talking about.
yes, of course.
AK, have you caught wind of? Well, first of all, let's talk state. Let's go state soccer because a couple champions working on. I'll get to baseball here in a second, but you got two big ones today. You got multiple big ones today. You had Pius and Marion yesterday. You guys are spread super thin. Let's just tackle it one at a time.
Mm-hmm.
What do we got? What? Come on.
Well, we're taking it one day at a time here. And today, with soccer game pushed, really threw us for a curveball. And honestly, what gets us short end of the stick is probably state baseball because there's so many games. So yesterday we couldn't even get anybody out to state baseball because there's only so many people working and so much time that you had. And then the Supernovas introduced their new coach yesterday, so that was another curveball thrown to us. And today with state track being in the mix, can't we spread these out just a little bit? Everything at the same time, just really, I don't know. It is one of those deals. I get it. It's the end of the school year. It's tough to schedule this stuff, but man, it's like drinking out of a fire hose these days. So, yesterday with state soccer was awesome. There were two great games. And then today with the boys taking over, that obviously that's going to be a priority, as well as state track and field. And by the way, NCAA softball has their availability before their super regionals. So Lauren will be down there. Noah will be at state track and state soccer, and then baseball already spoke or is speaking in about 45 minutes. So it'll talk about all hands on deck. This is just this is the other thing. This is let me shout out Lauren because she's a gamer. She texted me on Monday morning. Okay, it's Monday morning. She goes, "Man, I'm looking at the schedule. I'm normally off, Thursday. Why don't we split my days off and just to have everybody in on Thursday?" So she volunteered to do that. So she took Monday off, and of course Monday was like Stormageddon, where Bill Ramby's in his white T-shirt and doing his thing, and so she takes Monday off, and now she's going to be off another day later on in the week. So that's the type of team player that Lauren is, and that's how we get stuff done. We try to do our best, and I guarantee the over/under on nasty emails that we get is about 3.5. But and I'm going to take the over here. Oh yeah. But it's just we do our best. We have just we have 3 people in our department, and which is awesome, and it's the largest department in the city, which is great for sports, and we still can't get to everything. So that just tells you what we're up against.
So where's my Swiss Army knife? Where's Eddie? Like, isn't he at your? That dude can do everything.
I know Eddie's. Eddie's contract has expired, so Eddie is he's moving on. So
man.
I know he is a gamer. Eddie is a gamer. I just talked to him last night. He's doing great, and he's getting married coming up, and he is awesome, and he's going to find a great job and he's going to do great things moving forward.
Oh no, who's going to do my Sundays?
I know. Yeah, that's it. Well, Lauren and Noah or me. How about that?
I'd love to drag you out on a Sunday.
I know. Kicking and screaming, baby. Kicking and screaming.
Wait a minute. You're not even back from East Lansing yet.
Yeah.
How are we hitting the Sunday morning?
Well, we'll see. We'll see how that plays out. There's a lot of variables up in the air for this fall's recording sessions. Let's just put it that way.
All right, so let's go to state baseball. So this is interesting. We were talking about what happened in Class C with Central City and the pitch count, and this game is resumed. Typically, it had been a forfeit. So I'm hearing from coaches and now parents. Apparently, this is a big deal. Like I tried to kind of be objective because clearly I'm close to Central City, but I did reach out to the folks at NSAA just to kind of paint a fair picture. But parents, like baseball parents, are very aware of pitch counts and what goes on with the amount of pitches, and pretty passionate from what I'm seeing in emails and text. This ruling may not go over very well to resume this game and not have it be a forfeit.
All right, so bring the viewers and let's say your local sports anchor up to speed to the details here, because I don't want to speak out of school here, because I want to make sure I got all the details that you have.
So a pitcher was used that had gone over the pitch count. He had thrown 30 pitches through the 31st. Central City played it under protest. The rules state that it's an automatic coaching ejection and a forfeit. NSAA went back and reviewed the tape. People were kind of waiting around to see what the ruling was going to be. And it came back that they will resume as is, runner on second, bottom of second, Central City down 2-0, no forfeiture, play on.
Oh, huh. Yeah. I did not know that development had occurred. Okay. Rules are rules, right? I mean, people should know the rules, but I understand why the pitch counts are there. And I understand that baseball parents are one of the more schooled parents in terms of the rule book. Now, not all baseball parents know the rule book as well as others, but I think for the general majority, they do know the rule book. So that's a tough situation. And that's tough on all sides. That's tough on the side of the team that puts in the pitcher, and it's tough on the team that actually knows what's going on and say, hey, that kid can't pitch and still pitches. So that's a tough deal. So are you hearing more from the Central City side or the other?
Well, both. And here's so I think, and I'm waiting for a couple more of my Class A coaches to weigh in. I think they don't want precedent set that people intentionally try to game the system if it's only going to get to be a resumed play and not an actual forfeiture.
I gotcha. So that's the end game. So instead of being a forfeit,
super big picture on wait a minute, when is this going to be enforced, and when is it not?
Sure. So you try to get away with it, or you bring in the kid, and then if somebody notices, they notice it, and then you just go back and it's a do-over.
I mean,
yeah, that's a tough deal.
There's a part of me that would be concerned that you could do this just to almost give yourself extra time. Like if let's say you're not over a pitch count with a guy, but you say, and now does the pitch count reset for the extra day now?
That's what I
sure. Yeah. That's you're buying yourself 24 hours then.
That's what I'm saying.
So, and if it doesn't for the guy that violated, does it for everybody else that couldn't pitch the day before? Like you could, there's really bad implications of allowing it to happen. And if there's not something on the books that gives the NSAA discretion that I'm not aware of.
I just feel good knowing this wasn't just brought to our attention because I'm so close to the folks from Central City. Lots of baseball people, and I mean, I'm going to say 30 or 40 this morning, AK, are weighing in on this and aren't real happy.
Yeah, no, this is something I didn't realize, and thanks for bringing it to my attention and our attention, because this is a big deal. And yeah, if the rule states one thing and you do another, that's puzzling to me. Like, wait, just because it's a state tournament.
Oh, Deliverance is back.
You got a smart mouth. That's what I was going to say. We lost my man, AK4 Channel 7.
No, it's I do think that would be my big concern, is not just because I don't know that you would get away with it very often in terms of like, oh, my guy's just going over pitches and nobody noticed. I do think people could use it as a way to reset. And that is maybe worse, honestly. I don't know that I do not have any idea why they would allow that to happen if there's not some pre-written allowance for discretion.
Yeah.
We back there, Andy?
Yeah, that damn internet. I tell you what. I tell you what.
Hey, you don't have to give up your provider, but have you contemplated switching? Because
oh my goodness, were you in our kitchen over the weekend? Absolutely, we've talked. This happens all the time. Oh. And if it wasn't for the new provider or options digging up our backyard in our neighborhood, I would have made the switch already. But out of principle, I haven't.
Our neighborhood has given permission, and they have laid all sorts of fiber optics as cable. Like actually, we were fortunate for warm weather because they did it in the winter, and they couldn't
get deep enough.
They couldn't bury the cables, and I was like, well, this is kind of ugly, but they fixed it. So
yeah,
we'll be switching shortly.
It's the free reign that I don't appreciate, but that's just me.
Just bullying, right? Right. You will be on your expected wait time is 226 hours.
Yeah. I
feel free to visit our website where you can't get a real
Yeah,
okay. Nice options.
You know how much money somebody could make if they just had good internet? Like if they provided good internet, they could have all my money. Just take it.
Yep.
I would happily give it over.
Yep.
All right, AK. So Big Ten tournament already off to a crazy start. You see a 12 win. Michigan State went from just happy to be in here, like, wait a minute. We just knocked the number 5 out. We have a suspended game. I'm still enamored by Washington's uniforms. I need to grow up and get over that.
Yes.
But
yes.
We
love it.
How are we going to stay on schedule?
I have no idea. No idea. I mean, first of all, back to the Washington uniforms. Are those the brightest helmets? That makes Notre Dame's helmets look dull under the lights.
I'm not even going to kid you, AK. Listen, a shaking stadium, 1992 Washington, Shane Pahoka, Steve Entman. Like, I had weird flashbacks to seeing this amazing football team in Washington, 91, 92. And it was those stupid bright gold helmets, the gold pants. It's like, and they were way good.
Yeah.
I was like, I felt a certain way watching that baseball game last night.
A little defensive, I'm sure.
It's not that I remember from 38 years or 35 years ago.
You know my random Washington affinity? I will double what our current bet is if you can name him.
I will go with Napoleon Kaufman.
Ooh, nope.
That's a good one, DB.
Bean O'Brien? Nope. Dane Hooker?
Nope.
Lawyer Malloy?
Nope.
I'm out.
Marquez Tuiasosopo.
Shoot, there's 94 of them. I should have just said Tuiasosopo.
I was just use the last name you would have gotten there.
AK, what? So how are you? Are you waiting? You can't just wait around till Friday at 5, which is going to be an absolute circus. But are you pacing yourself with Big Ten baseball and volleyball or softball? Excuse me.
I think we lost him again.
Oh man. Yeah, we're getting him a new provider. We're gonna go to Sasha's account.
Yeah, we gotta figure something out there. At least we didn't get you got a pretty mouth music on that one.
What do you mean? I was talking about taking pictures. I don't know what you're talking about.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Sorry, my bad.
This is great. Great television, great audio, great. What a segment. I mean, this is the last time I'm doing this down here, I'll tell you that much.
You know who this doesn't happen to? It doesn't happen to Kevin Seats.
I know. Kevin is on it. He's probably sitting on his router when he does it.
Wow. He hardwires that thing.
Yeah. The message says move closer to your router. How about give me better internet? Huh? I'm one floor down from the router. There you go.
Need the old booster. So
yeah.
I saw him out at Tao the other day, and he's better in person, and he's good on our show. Like I didn't realize what a hardcore junkie he is. We were talking wild card points like 7 spots in regular season games. I was like, Suits, you're a wizard. Like,
all right. He is amazing. And I'm moving upstairs, by the way, guys. This is I'm gonna be in motion because this is ridiculous. Now you might hear my dogs.
Listen, we've had crying kids, we've had spilt syrup, we've had wives yelling.
Was EJ the one that was walking?
EJ Barthel.
He was the one that was walking around, right?
During his recruiting. Coach Clemenger was at Papio South. He walked outside.
Yeah.
All right.
Like we're remotely professionals,
I mean,
AK.
EJ had the lights kept going out on him in the room, so he had to like get up, walk around, and turn the lights back on.
He's like letting players just hop in on the interview. He's like, hey, say hi to the guy.
You want to say hi to Makai?
All right. So I just moved. I am literally next to I'm going to show you my router. Here's my router, guys, right there. So I'm in. So I'm right there. Where were we? Kevin Suits. Oh my God. You know, he's got a week. He's got his boy who plays for Lincoln Lutheran.
I know. I know. And I was asking that team because I saw they had their.
And then.
Yep. And he had a birthday. My man was eating birthday cake at 8:30 last week.
Yes. He's the best. He's the best. Hey, real quick about that Big Ten tournament. Can somebody answer me? Why does Nebraska as the 2 seed get the teams get the bracket that only plays 2 games rather than the guys who have to play 3 games? Why is that? Why does the 3 seed get the qualifier that plays 3 games and not 2?
I don't know. He's certainly not exchanged for the primetime slot of 5 o'clock because you could have just moved that.
Yeah, you could have just flopped the bracket. It doesn't make any sense. Why would you put the 2 seed getting the winner of that other, the 7-11 game or whatever it is? So that's my only complaint about the bracket because I do like the bracket.
SC's above them, right?
UCLA and then SC.
It's Oregon's the 3 and USC is the 4.
In my head.
Yeah, so top to bottom of USC, UCLA, Nebraska, Oregon.
Okay.
In that group.
Yeah. So
but you could have just flipped Nebraska and Oregon, but maybe they just wanted them at the 5, but just flip the other bracket then. That doesn't make any sense.
So we're having this debate. I'm curious to see what you think. If softball goes to an if necessary, is there an inning that Ruby Malin does not pitch for Okie State?
I don't think so. I think she goes the distance, don't you?
Rico said that. I don't know, AK. Realistically speaking, I'm sure they've got another. They're going to throw another arm. Wrong. Like, I'm sure she'd take the game ball, but we're kind of hoping we don't need an if necessary if you're cheering for Nebraska, right?
Right, 100%. But man, I know that the one concern is that their bats, they weren't clicking last weekend, but they did enough to win, right? So that's the name of the game. If they continue pitching the way they are, they're gonna be just fine. But I think Husker fans would feel a little more confident if the bats were smoking coming in, and they have not been. But maybe that's just a new week, and we'll see what happens. But it's just a fascinating matchup with the pitchers and their histories together, and that the 3 of the best arms that you'll see this weekend are they're probably grew up 15 minutes apart, if not closer, and it says a lot about what softball is bringing in the area.
So what's interesting, AK, between high school baseball, state track, softball, and Big Ten baseball, they're still going to get their 13, 14K at the Schwab. There's going to be 3 at Bowling. And everybody else is just going to get in where they fit in, trying to support their own kids.
Right. I know. And you got some diehard track and field enthusiasts who go to state track every year.
Oh, yeah.
And state track's going to draw, 4, 5, 6,000 fans, no question. It is just this is the busiest sports weekend locally of the year. And if you have any interest, you're going to be out somewhere. Now, where that is, that's a great question.
Yeah,
that's a great question.
Navigating the traffic, giving yourself an extra 50 minutes to get there.
Yeah.
I can't wait till people actually drive downtown for the first time in a while.
Oh, good luck to that, by the way.
Enjoy that.
I'm going to be honest. I might camp out pretty early for that Friday game.
Yeah.
I might
get there early.
Yeah.
Give yourself extra time.
Yeah, that streetcar's coming, and it's
not named Desire. Wow. That's Andy KENDEIGH, KETV, AK. Appreciate the time as always. Your connection's great now.
Thanks. Lesson learned.
We'll talk to you later. Andy.
Thanks, Andy.
Yeah, thanks.
That is Andy KENDEIGH from KETV. We'll be right back with Steve MARIK from inside Nebraska here on Hurrdat Sports Live.
It's time for Stars, Stripes, and Savings at Edwards Nissan. Lease the 2026 Nissan Rogue Platinum starting at $349 a month. A platinum lease for less this May. 2 Nissans, 2 great deals. Only at Edwards. We've also got the 2026 Nissan Pathfinder SV starting at $399 a month. Another win for May. Don't wait. Get in on Stars, Stripes, and Savings this May at Edwards Nissan.
Well, we went to Super Regionals last year, so this will be the second time with Nebraska. But to do it at home in Lincoln, that's something we've never done. So everybody's just so excited. It's a blessing to wrap up a high emotion weekend like this and be able to wake up in our own beds tomorrow morning and have a whole week at home and not have to get ready to travel. And all we have to do is prepare. So it's huge. We're excited. Bowling was incredible this weekend. Such a fun atmosphere to play in. So we're just thankful for our fans for that. And we're thankful to be able to do it another weekend. Yeah, it's awesome. I think a little earlier I said that not many people get to actually live this dream, but it's a dream so many have, and we're just grateful that we get to, and to do it with each other. Like you said, it's not just 1 or 2 of us, but it is so many of us, and so it's really exciting, and you really feel our families too, and it's just great. It's a great experience.
Welcome to Hurrdat Sports Live.
Welcome back, Hurrdat Sports Live, presented by Next Gen Male Medical. That's DB. I'm Ravi Lulla here at Hurrdat Sports HQ. We are joined now by Steve MARIK from inside Nebraska. Steve, how are we doing this morning?
Hey, guys, I'm great. How are you doing?
I love so you know what? I like when you guys don't want to tell us no and you're busy and you just make it work. Like, because you could easily say, look, man, I'm on the move. I got things to do. But here we get you're like the Jeep Wade of rivals. It's like you're doing it from your car. I appreciate that, buddy. How are you?
Well, yeah, with you guys as excellent producer, Shane. I mean, he's just talking me through it, telling me how to do everything, making sure schedules work out. I love Shane. So shout out Shane. But yeah, I'm in a Scooters drive-through. Don't know if you guys can see that, but yeah, we're doing this thing. It's fun.
Hey, so I totally wanted to protect you because you know your football honk coworker Tim Bergeese. We were gonna steal your thunder and talk red zone, and I go no. I'm interested in red zone, but we're gonna grab Steve. I'm gonna save it so we can talk about the guy that's talk about it with the guy that's cranking out the content. So don't let anybody tell you got to take a backseat to TV. We pushed his red zone talk to the side to save it for his colleague.
No, you should still ask him because Tim is a ball knower that I call daily. I'm sure I annoy him with all my phone calls, just like asking him questions like, hey, I think this, what do you think that?
Yeah.
Things like that. So I think you should still ask Tim. Tim knows some stuff too.
We'll take anything but the red zone. It's yours, Steve.
So, Steve, let me ask you, what prompted in your head to be like, hey, this is something I want to kind of take a deep dive on? Like, where did this adventure start?
When Coach Rule, I think it was December before the bowl game with Utah. I think Coach Wade was mentioned with his hire, and then Coach was just like, yeah, Jeep Wade and Georgia Tech were one of the premier counter run teams. And then, he mentioned USC as well. But, along that same comment, he mentioned, wanting to just like get the run game a little bit better. It was good last year. I think we can all agree with that. The traditional handoff run game with Emmett. But I think that Coach Rule really wanted to beef up the run game, especially in the red zone. And then when you look at the numbers from the red zone run game with Nebraska, I think they could be better. I think everybody in the program wanted them to be better too. And so I think when you introduce offensive line coach like Jeep Wade and with the resume he has, especially coming off that Georgia Tech 2025 season, they're in the top 10 of the Joe Moore Award finalists. So he really knows what he was doing up there. And I think like when you add something like counter, and especially with a dual threat quarterback too, to make life a little bit harder on defenses to defend, I think that just can create more opportunities to score touchdowns. And that's something that Nebraska's offense didn't quite do enough of last year. And I think they want to get better. So yeah, I mean, it was just going back to December and seeing Coach Rule talk about Georgia Tech and, how well they ran counter and how that can maybe impact Nebraska's run game, especially in the red zone where they weren't, as efficient as they wanted to be.
And it's amazing too, Steve, because on the fly, and I had pulled some data about Nebraska's points per trip in the red zone and ranking, in the bottom third of all of college football, but in the top 40 in terms of amount of times that they got there. It's just interesting how efficient they are moving it from the 30 to the 20, but the inability to convert that into more touchdowns. And I'm only really asking for, the total number of trips. If they continue at the same rate, I'm just like, hey, man, just get me another 2.5 points per, right? And, that puts you in the top 35 in the country in terms of red zone offense, at least based on last year.
Mm-hmm.
Which led me to ask the question to Coach Snow the other day. He said, I said, what's for you as a defensive mind? What would give you the most fits if you wanted to be good and efficient defensively in the red zone? And he said, number one, obviously, you got to be able to run the ball in the red zone.
Yeah.
But he said the improvisation of quarterbacks and athleticism in the red zone is usually ultimately the key for teams that are good in the red zone.
Yeah, absolutely. And I always read about, I try to read up and watch as much as possible with coaches and, what gives them headaches and stuff, especially in the red zone. And, when it gets down there, when the field shrinks, it turns into, the run game, it's a number game. And, when you start to pull guys, creating extra gaps for defenders to fill, it just makes life harder for them. And I feel like last season with Nebraska's run game, especially in the red zone, you kind of knew where the ball was going. I mean, it was going to Emmett. And there wasn't much, we all know that Dylan Raiola was limited as a runner. And when you have a quarterback back there like Dylan, I think that kind of just helps out the defense just a little bit with, understanding like what's the biggest threat out there, what can I afford to, maybe look away from. So, I just think with, how Nebraska is likely going to be playing things, at least I think next season with Anthony Calandria, they're just going to be more dynamic down there. And I think it's something that kind of versatility, multiplicity down there was not really with Nebraska and the offense last year, especially in the red zone. But now I just think they have more of the playbook open to them. They have more ability to do different things down there. And that's just going to help score touchdowns, I think. So.
Steve, as we're talking about this, like in retrospect, I know they used Heinrich Harburg in some short yardage situations, but do you wish they'd been maybe more creative? It felt like they did the same thing with Heinrich a lot, and obviously he's capable of more than that, which is why he was on the field in the first place. But do you wish they had kind of tried to expand what they did with him a little bit more because of what you just mentioned about what's challenging for defenses and offensive in the red zone?
Yeah, I do. I do think that they could have used Heinrich more in more different ways than just like what he was used at. And he's look, 6'5", 230, probably playing at 240 last year since he moved to tight end. But so he's a different kind of athlete and runner than Anthony Calandria is. But for what they had, I think they could have put him on the move and just gave him more opportunities down there. But then you're taking your starting quarterback off the field, and that just creates more things out there. So I mean, Heinrich can do some things, but it was just one of those things where they didn't really seem that the coaches didn't really seem that enthusiastic about using Heinrich in those situations, I guess, if that makes sense.
So and it does, because I think, I just remember some teams that I especially remember being good at Wildcats at the high school level. Bellevue West was fantastic for a stretch, right? When you have a Johnson and you have a Richardson and you have a Bradley, you can get in some Wildcat. But the thing that made it difficult for us, not only was it just some of the blocking schemes, but when you're a legitimate threat to throw out of it, that's the game changer. Because playing 11 on 11 is one thing. That's tough. But playing 11 on 11 with a true dual threat in those condensed areas where you're more apt to place a man is a real headache.
Yeah, and at that point of his career with Heinrich, I mean, we've seen him play quarterback. Like Damon, do you think that
I just don't think I didn't respect it, right?
Yeah. Defenses didn't respect it. Do you think he could have done it?
You have to work it a fair amount.
Yeah, and were they doing that? That's what I always wondered. Like, how much time at practice were they spending, with a Harbor package in the red zone?
So that's kind of what I meant, though, is like,
well, when you have to take your best player off the field, you guys, like,
I get it, but like the results were what they were with Dylan in the red zone at a certain point. Like, you want to try some different things, I would think, eventually, and you go and you say, okay, we've got this guy who we think is super talented. Obviously, was our starting quarterback for a stretch, so we know he's capable of throwing. Like, at some point, they had to actually throw the ball with him.
Yeah,
like,
as opposed to, because we saw a lot of what, like quarterback sneaks. We saw a couple leads,
but it was a lot,
and they weren't very good at them.
No, they weren't. And so my thought was like, okay, this guy was obviously better than most guys throwing the ball in a Wildcat package. You have to actually throw the ball with him at some point for any of the other stuff to work.
For me as a coordinator, that would be the difference for me. Can you actually complete passes?
Yeah.
And if you do like a real simple read on a rollout or something like that, where it's like a one read or run, you're not asking them to like dissect the defense.
Steve, let me ask you something. You're watching and you're crunching numbers and you've got data. You think it's sustainable for the amount of trips that Nebraska makes to the red zone? Because I think it's significantly more than people think at first blush.
Oh, you mean like how often they got down there?
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, they got down there. I mean, moving the ball between the 20s was not the issue. It was just like moving the ball once you get inside the 20 it was where the field shrinks. And I just think like, I don't know. It didn't really seem like the offense had a good plan down there, if that makes sense. I think like, they were kind of, the offense was a little bit limited once they got in the red zone, just because of, like I said before, the field shrinks. And I think defenses were understanding where the ball was going to go and okay with Dylan throwing it down there, and they'll take their chances with that. So that's where I kind of view things. But the game completely changes with Anthony Calandria back there. I'm really excited and intrigued to see what the offense looks like, not just between the 20s, but in the red zone. I think Nebraska is going to be better down there, and it's going to make for better offense overall.
It's a nightmare when plays get extended down there.
Oh yeah.
I mean, how much of
it you just can't? It's just
watching some of Calandria's tape from UNLV and then a little bit of Virginia. Yeah, you're right, Damon. I mean, if I was on defense playing against that cat, I mean, he is just so frustrating. The way he can just and a lot of it's just his stature. He's not that tall, but man, he's got elite elusiveness, burst. He can just dip his shoulder. He just dips his shoulder and like a DN or a pass rushing edge thinks he has a sack and then he doesn't. And now he's just like completing a little dump off pass to a running back who goes for a 15-yard gain. It's just like stuff like that is exactly what Nebraska needed last year and didn't really get.
And it's two things. So you just be patient with me here. Number one, the lower legs for him. He's got huge lower legs for a guy that's a little shorter in stature. So he has some running back features to him. The other thing is you don't want to turn the ball over, right? People talk about
that's huge.
His propensity to take chances or turn it over. How much of that would you be willing, after watching the offense, be very careful and cautious over the last handful of years, taking some sacks, didn't really want to turn it over. How much are you willing to say, you know what, just take a chance? Have we crossed over into that realm, do you think?
I think so. I've written plenty about this, and every time I put something on my message board about like his athleticism or his playmaking ability, somebody's like, well, he throws a lot of interceptions, he has a lot of fumbles. Like, yeah, I understand it. I've also watched some where I've watched a clip of his where there's a fumble between him and the running back at the mesh point. And to me, the untrained eye, I'm like, wow, I think that running back should have like had that. Mm-hmm. And then it like goes on the turf and it's bouncing around. So it's like, I don't know how many of those fumbles were on him, but yeah, it's here's what I keep going back to. He is so athletic. He is incredible with the ball in his hands as a runner. I don't want to take his superpower away from him. And I don't think the offensive staff is going to want to take his superpower away from him, because his superpower is running, extending plays, keeping the play alive for his receivers to find a little patch of open grass. I really think that's where he's going to excel this year. And I understand the interceptions. I understand the fumble numbers. I know what those all look like. But I do think that he needs to play within himself a little bit, because the Big Ten and Big Ten defenders are bigger, faster. The windows are going to be tighter. I get all that. But I also don't want him to play scared out there and play just like not himself. I want him to be himself. I want Anthony Calandria to be Anthony Calandria. And that's like taking a little bit of chances. And we saw that in the spring game with the interception. Should he have shown it? Should he have thrown it? Should he have not have thrown it? After the game, he said he just should have thrown it away. So I think that was good on his part, because I think it was a little bit of a risky throw that you wouldn't want him making in a game. It probably would have got Gilmer killed out there if he was actually going to extend out and catch it. But yeah, I just think there is going to be a line to toe with Anthony Calandria. But for Nebraska, for what they want to do, I don't want Anthony Calandria being scared to make a mistake out there. I think everybody should want Anthony Calandria being confident, just like he always is, and just like playing his game, because that's what him playing his game is what's got him to this point and what's made him a 3-year starter in college football.
I mean, if you're looking at, obviously, I think a lot of people expect some, and I don't know if this is right or not, but I think some people expect some level of drop off statistically from going from the Mountain West to the Big Ten, which I think is understandable. But sure, like, let's say he does, I don't know, about 80% of his production from last year. That would put him at 2,800 yards passing, 18 or 19 touchdowns, 7 or 8 interceptions, about 500 yards rushing, and 8 touchdowns. Like, everybody takes that, right?
You take that every day. Every day.
Like, you absolutely, like, you're talking mid-20s, high 20s in terms of touchdowns, under 10 interceptions. Like, you take that, 3,500 yards of total offense almost. Like, you would take that every day of the week, right?
Yeah, absolutely. With the defenses that are going to be coming here, that they're going to be playing, with the schedule that's coming up. I mean, yeah, I mean, for Nebraska to reach its goal and to shut everybody up and all the naysayers and just like go out and win more ball games that everybody thinks that they're going to win right now, Anthony Calandria needs to go out there and be confident and have fun playing the game like he always does. And that's exactly what Nebraska's offense needs, because if he does that, I think everything's just going to move along a lot better than it was last year. And I'm excited to watch it.
I try to watch for things other than the actual things that everybody's talking about, right? That's just my personality. And I came back from a practice one day, and I told Ravi one of the things that I was pleasantly surprised with was his accuracy, because it didn't always translate when I watched an abnormal amount of his tape, but hitting guys on the move and the level of, I almost want to say fun, maybe creativity is the word, that the wide receiver showed, knowing that he could extend plays, is something, unless you see it, I'm just using words, right? But I think it's undersold on the amount of freedom I think the receivers are playing with, knowing that plays can be extended. Like, that alone doesn't really show up and a stat, but it changes the way you attack the game, in my opinion, with your mindset.
Anthony had looked to have really good chemistry with his receivers at UNLV, and I thought that was a really good unit out there in the Mountain West. I think it was one of the better receiver groups in the conference, and they looked on the same page with him. When he broke the pocket, everybody looked like they had a plan. It was very Diego Pavia-esque at Vanderbilt with his group the past couple years. So there are a lot of similarities, and I'm glad that Matt Rule and Dana Holgerson talked about that with the similarities with Calandria and Pavia, and looking how Vanderbilt's offense did some things, putting Pavia on the move, having a plan for when he broke the pocket. I think all those things are something that Nebraska is going to show in 2026. So his ability to, I think just to get along with everybody and create relationships and build that chemistry. We saw him bring down some of the core receivers that are going to be on the field a lot down to Florida to work out and throw some balls on air. So I just think like everybody likes Anthony Calandria and everybody's going to play hard for him. And with with what he can do on the field, I think it's going to really excite the receivers, especially somebody like Ja'Cory Barney. Somebody on our message board asked me, like, hey, you're writing all this stuff about like him extending plays and everything. Is there one receiver who could maybe benefit the most from that? And I think maybe somebody like Ja'Cory Barney, who has he's very quick, his acceleration is off the charts. He can drop his hips and change direction on a dime. I think somebody like that can really benefit when the play structure breaks down and then the secondary play structure starts coming in with Anthony extending plays. I think somebody like Ja'Cory Barney can really maybe excel at that.
I'll give you two more too, because I think this is critical. Number one, Hunter, who's very good after the catch.
Tough to bring down.
He's very hard to bring down in the open field. So extending the plays and getting a ball out to him, I think, is huge. But the other thing that I think is a little undersold is, and we saw flashes of it from Quinn, but when a receiver feels like you're going to give him a chance to make a play, and I saw it all spring, which is why I said we're going to leave the spring game with Quinn Clark being the guy we talk about. He'll give his guy a chance to make a play. And I it's just something that it does for your spirit. And this isn't in retrospect or it's not the I'm not saying it's the anti-Dylan or the anti-anything. I'm just saying when receivers know that you're going to give them a chance to make a play, there's something that happens intrinsically as wideouts where it's like, just give me a shot, man. I got you. Yeah. And I think he's understanding where to put balls for his guys. I mean, Quinn Clark made more circus catches this spring. I was like, goodness gracious, he gets one. I tell you, right? He got at least one a day. He gets one a day. Yeah. And
I mean, like we saw it in the spring game with that one-handed grab for the touchdown, and then before that, Anthony Calandria hit Barney on that go route just perfectly, putting it over the shoulder. I mean, he had plenty of those. He's an accurate deep ball thrower. I mean, just watch the UNLV tape. He's putting the ball on guys' hands, whether they're catching it or not. He's still putting it on their hands. So I think that's, I mean, he's accurate on the run. He's an accurate thrower.
And I think, and here's the thing, like you have to be able to have these conversations. If we can assume the negative and be all doomy and gloomy, I think it's important to be able to talk about the things that you can't actually see either. Like if you truly want hope, it's things like this that we're talking about, because you can't see camaraderie, you can't see chemistry, you can't see levels of excitement.
Yeah, like how much difference does it make if Anthony Calandria just vibes better with guys than Dylan did?
I think that's a thing. I think that's a real thing, Ravi.
It doesn't even have to be a comparison. And I'm not trying to shy away from the Dylan thing. I'm just saying we make too much of that.
Let's just say he's got a great relationship with people.
If he has a great relationship with guys being excited, it's different. I just know, and I'm saying this because I just know what it's like coming into a game and you don't want to. You're so other-centered about the guys you're playing with. It's like man, if Zadiska had that nice pin down, the least I could do is hit that hole.
Right.
Right. Or if Abdul's throwing himself on the ground for a knockdown out on the perimeter, the least I could do is get my ass over there. You know what I mean? It's like,
make it matter.
Stuff like that matters when you're playing in games. It's like, I can't let this guy down. And I think, I just think
that could show. Sorry.
When you're playing with guys that are willing to lay it on the line, I think there's this natural tendency to want to match energies.
Laying it on the line. I mean, that just reminds me of Calandria and in the run game. You watch how he ends some of his runs.
Oh, I know. I get down, bro.
I know. I'm like thinking to myself, like, what are you doing? I couldn't imagine what Coach Mullen, like Dan Mullen, was thinking during some of those runs. Like, they were trying to jump over guys.
They would blow the whistle and they just wanted to like all of a sudden go live, and they're like, hey, 3rd and 6, 25 seconds on the clock, and he'd scramble and make a play. And it's like, he's trying to get every inch. I'm like, get down, but he plays with some reckless abandon. I don't know if that means it wins. I'm just telling you, it's fun to play with guys that play with juice.
Yeah, no, exactly. That's the thing. It's the playing with emotion, showing up for your brothers, being really tough. They're going to run QB counter, QB power with Anthony Calandria on like a 3rd and 3 or a 3rd and 2. He's going to lower his shoulder. He's going to run into somebody and he's going to get the first down. And I think that's just going to jack everybody up on the offensive line. And that's going to want them to fire off the ball for Quentin Ives on the next play or something like that. So it's just like things like that, I think are really going to show up during the season for us to see.
Go back and watch that that boundary counter that they ran with Booth that he scored when they had numbers. Imagine just tagging an RPO on the backside of that. Allow your mind to see that. Go back and watch the Booth run late, the pullers, the action to the boundary, and then tag an RPO on the backside.
Yeah.
If that's me defensively, I'm like,
what do I?
You're stressed,
especially if you're willing to run to the boundary.
Yeah.
And your QB is a run element. It's a headache.
It's also fun to watch.
Yeah, it is.
Steve, we appreciate the time. Great stuff there. If you haven't checked it out, go check out his deep dive on the red zone over at Inside Nebraska. We'll talk again soon, okay?
All right. Thanks for having me on, guys.
Thanks, buddy.
That's Steve MARIK from Inside Nebraska. Coming up next, we got Mitch Sherman from The Athletic. That's DB. I'm Ravi Lulla. It's Hurrdat Sports Live.
It's time for Stars, Stripes, and Savings at Edwards Nissan. Lease the 2026 Nissan Rogue Platinum starting at $349 a month. A platinum lease for less this May. 2 Nissans, 2 great deals. Only at Edwards. We've also got the 2026 Nissan Pathfinder SV starting at $399 a month. Another win for May. Don't wait. Get in on Stars, Stripes, and Savings this May at Edwards Nissan.
Well, we went to Super Regionals last year, so this will be the second time with Nebraska. But to do it at home in Lincoln, that's something we've never done. So everybody's just so excited. It's a blessing to wrap up a high emotion weekend like this and be able to wake up in our own beds tomorrow morning and have a whole week at home and not have to get ready to travel. And all we have to do is prepare. So it's huge. We're excited. Bowling was incredible this weekend. Such a fun atmosphere to play in. So we're just thankful for our fans for that. And we're thankful to be able to do it another weekend. Yeah, it's awesome. I think a little earlier I said that not many people get to actually live this dream, but it's a dream so many have, and we're just grateful that we get to, and to do it with each other. Like you said, it's not just 1 or 2 of us, but it is so many of us, and so it's really exciting, and you really feel our families too, and it's just great. It's a great experience.
to Hurrdat Sports Live.
Welcome back, Hurrdat Sports Live. That's DBM Ravi Lulla here at Hurrdat Sports HQ. We are joined now by Mitch Sherman from The Athletic. Mitch, how are we doing this morning?
Doing well. What's going on, guys?
We are just trying to make it, man. How about you?
Yeah, I'm great. Great. Been on vacation. It's kind of odd timing with the baseball and softball stuff, but I've been way checked out of the country for the last week plus. I'm back and good to go right now as of today.
You like high school? Do you like it enough if somebody that's you're not personally connected to you involved? Like, will you go stop out and see something at soccer, or is Gretna state baseball? Well, would you see state baseball? Would you? I had to think about it for a second.
It ended yesterday.
Yeah. Like, would you be out and about, or are you just thinking, okay, if I'm going to get out and be amongst the heathens, I'm doing softball or Big Ten baseball?
Well, if work requires me to be at those events, the college events, then I'm going to be there. If it's just a personal preference, yeah, I don't know. It depends on the matchup in the game. Like this weekend, I'm going to make sure I get to Bowling for softball. I'm going to make sure I get down to Schwab soon for some Big Ten baseball. I don't know if any high school sports are on the agenda this week for me, but I'm absolutely in favor of going to see them and have plenty of times in the past, whether my kids were playing or not.
How cool is it, or it's just part of the deal, I guess, that to think that both those stadiums you referenced, they'll have 17,000 represented, right? I mean, Schwab's going to get their 14 for baseball, or 13 or 14, and Bolin's going to get their 3K for softball. Mm-hmm. It's like plenty of love to go around.
Yeah, it's a weekend in Nebraska spring sports like we've maybe never seen, just because, I mean, the teams have had success, and they've had success in the same years. It's been a while to have a confluence like this, but it's definitely happened, and just never that I can recall at these venues at the same time. Look, I mean, Schwab has only been there since 2011, and Nebraska softball hasn't made the College World Series and hasn't had a home super regional in a long time. 2014 College World Series, and I just don't recall anything where there were this many opportunities for fans to go support these teams at the same time coming up in a long time. So it's really cool. Hopefully we get some good like summer like weather this weekend for people to get out and enjoy it. And you talk about those numbers, the crowds. I was wondering out loud last night as I like reacclimated myself to being home, what it's going to be like if Nebraska baseball gets on a roll this weekend. I mean, we know Friday night is going to be fine. But if you get into the weekend and you're playing possibly Oregon in a semifinal, if you make it through that, I mean, imagine Nebraska UCLA or Nebraska USC. But I think UCLA is on a different level because we haven't seen them against Nebraska this year. And people have had the opportunity to see Nebraska USC 3 times already this year in Lincoln. But if it's UCLA, the number 1 team in the country, like a team that everyone expects to be in Omaha next month and maybe playing for all of it in Omaha next month, that's I would, of course, love to see it for like the dramatic effect and the storylines, but also just for the number of people it could bring out on Sunday if we do get to that point where it's 1 versus 2 on Championship Sunday, and then with softball, yeah, I mean, if you get to a winner take all game, or even like any of those games with the pitching matchups alone, with Ruby Malin coming back home, and people know the history with that family, and that doesn't even begin to scratch the surface of what you're talking about with Jordy Fromm and her legacy and the storylines around Alexis Jensen and all of those softball players, those 12 seniors, so many of whom are deeply connected to the state of Nebraska. Like you couldn't ask for a better setup for people to get out and enjoy some great drama this weekend.
Mitch, how much of the added, as you mentioned, like we've had big weekends where there was a confluence of events before, but how much of the kind of added juice does it seem like this one have? Do you attribute to the seeming much larger profile that softball has taken over the past few years, not just locally here, but kind of on a national scale, the growth of the sport? We talk about volleyball a lot. We don't talk about that with softball.
It's got an amazing platform.
Nearly as much, where I do think the growth is not as big as volleyball, but pretty astounding still.
Yeah, the TV numbers that the Women's College World Series puts up every year always is always really impressive. And yeah, and they've made that event incredibly fan friendly. And I've not been to it in person. I don't know, maybe this will be the year. We'll see. Haven't gotten that far in thinking beyond this weekend, but I've not been to Oklahoma City for that, and would love to see it. Like, I think it's a bucket list kind of thing, especially having gone every year to see it in Omaha, and you get you have a certain kind of loyalty. I do to the Men's College World Series, and I think, well, nothing could top this. They do, it's all first class and huge crowds. Well, I don't know. I mean, I'd love to see what it looks like in Oak City, and the difference there, kind of to just get off topic, but the difference there is that the home team is always there in the Women's College World Series. I mean, Oklahoma is, I don't need to tell anybody listening probably, but they're a dynasty in women's softball, or in softball. Whereas it's not like that here. You've had it happen, 4 times in the history of the event where a home quote unquote home team has played. So that makes it a little bit different, I think, and maybe more exciting or maybe more unfair depending on your perspective. But yeah, overall, like, what's going on in softball is incredible. And you talk about a confluence of events, like the popularity of the sport, and then like Nebraska just like throwing gasoline into the inferno with the return of Jordy 2 or 3 years ago. It's like, she could not have, this all couldn't have worked out more perfectly, where the sport was gaining in popularity on a national level and people were picking up locally. And then it exploded in her last year, in her first year as a full participant at Nebraska. And everything that she said when she made that decision after her sophomore year at OU to come home, everything she said that she wanted to do has happened. And I think her impact away from like just the macro level of Nebraska softball, like University of Nebraska softball, will turn out to be much bigger. Like the way that she is growing the sport and the eyeballs that she's bringing to the sport in this state are on a different level even than like what they're accomplishing on the diamond.
It's amazing that timing is so critical in things like this to have things take off. And
yeah, it worked with volleyball too. Like with the Memorial Stadium match, they lit a match at the right time. Yeah. And that's kind of I know the numbers are smaller, but that's kind of what's going on here with Jordy and Nebraska softball.
And they're uniquely positioned, Mitch, with a budding superstar in her own right, and Alexis Jensen, who you've seen since she was a kid, right down the street, ready to assume the mantle.
Yeah.
And shows the early traits of being a good ambassador as well, that is extremely recognizable.
Yeah.
And is becoming more comfortable. They shut her down with the media, and at the right time late in the season. Like, she's just chomping at the bit to be it's a nice position to be in if you're going to carry on this trajectory.
I guess now that you say that, I hadn't even noticed that we haven't seen Alexis in interviews, and
it was intentional.
Yeah. And that tells you, like, I've been following it from afar, but have been very aware of what she's doing on the field. And I still see her, like, I still see my daughter, who went to school with her for a long time, like, shows me the TikToks and the food reviews and things like that. Like, she's got a tremendous personality, very, very interesting, very different from what you get with Jordy or most people. Unique, I think, is a great way to put it, but endearing, and somebody that I think if the softball momentum continues and Nebraska can build off this and continue to like be in this moment, like people who don't know her personality are going to continue to just like fall for her and everything that she is over the next 3 years. It's hard to say, okay, like she's just going to pick up where Jordy is leaving off, because Jordy has this incredible ability to be better in the big moments. And I think you saw it in the regional. Those were, obviously they were tight games, but she is not a person who you worry about when it's 1-0 and some adversity is struck and there's a couple of runners on base. Like, that just because of the history and what she's done, literally won multiple national championships. It's so rare in sports, period, whether it's college sports or pro sports. It's so rare to find somebody who is at the absolute top, just from a skill and talent standpoint, and then also has a burning competitiveness that allows them to take it to another level when the stage is absolutely the biggest that it gets. Like, you just don't get that. And you can look through college football and the cases are rare. Like, I mean, Fernando Mendoza showed it for Indiana football this year, but it's so rare to have that combination, and she definitely has it.
Mitch, as we switch over to baseball here and talking about building on things, do you think this is an opportunity for Nebraska baseball to kind of continue to build? They've had a solid last 3 years, but I think last year was
a little older,
maybe disappointing for people in some ways, even though they end up kind of going through the Big Ten tournament run.
Mm-hmm.
But do you think there is that same opportunity in terms of just building the program, not as much building the sport for the baseball team as they head into the Big Ten championship?
Yeah. And you've seen a real switch in the way that Will Bolt is constructing his roster that I think is smart. And like, he's of course very, very aware of the landscape of college baseball and of all of these sports that we follow closely at Nebraska. None of them, just like from the ground up, the structure of the sport and the way that you have to work in order to build and sustain a winning program, none of them are changing. I mean, you could maybe say football, but that's because there's so many more moving parts in football. But taking football out of the equation, none of them are changing more than baseball, where you're going in a short period of time from 11.7 scholarships up into the 30s. And it isn't just as simple as throwing money at it. I mean, you can see it this year in the way that the teams around the country are performing, the ones that you expect to be great and see as great programs year in and year out. And look at the defending national champ, LSU. Look at, Arkansas is going to get into a regional and might come to Lincoln as a number 2, but this is not the same Arkansas that has been a national championship contender. I mean, they may get hot and win the national championship. They have talent, but it hasn't been that kind of a smooth ride for Dave Van Horn this year. The same thing at other programs in the SEC and around the country. It's way more. It's just a way different in how you build it. And
at LSU,
right. That's where I started with it. LSU. Ask LSU. Some schools are figuring it out. I mean, Texas is doing fine with it, but you have to be smart about it, and you can't just be like, we're going to spend as much money as we can and get the best players, because the chemistry is not always going to be right. And you can be smart and the chemistry won't be right. But I think Will has it figured out really well, and you've seen a shift in the way that he's recruiting, and they've gone heavy on the JUCOs for next year. And I think that's all in an attempt to just take advantage of the moment and know what's at their disposal, what they can do. They want to stay. They're old right now, and they want to stay old in order to keep this going. So yeah, I think that they are definitely like hitting their stride. That's that coaching staff and keeping this going. It's not a 1-year thing right now, because they're consistently going to the postseason. But I think they can build on this with this formula and keep it moving next year.
A couple teams are starting to really get it going come tournament and play time. The SEC is going to be a gauntlet. So you always look at teams like you mentioned Arkansas. They're figuring it out.
Mm-hmm.
Florida's a team that's a little scary. You've got West Virginia. a team that is a little scary when you're kind of looking at somebody outside of, like, let's say the top 4 or 5, because I don't get 2 questions. Let me get this first one out. Somebody outside the top 4 or 5 that's maybe coming from off the grid a little, that you're like, I have my eye on them.
Well, I would definitely say Arkansas. Even without watching them play much and just glancing at their record and the path of their season, I know that there's a ton of talent on that roster. You know, I know about Cam Kojal, and I know the guys around him, and it's just not a team where, on one hand, like, if they get put in your region, you say, okay, like, what's your goal? Is your goal to win a couple of games in a regional, or is your goal to make it to the College World Series? And if the answer is your goal is to make it to the College World Series, then you should have no issue with a team like that coming to your region, because to get there, you're going to have to go through somebody like that at some point. So
you sure you want to prolong it?
Yeah, I mean, that's an option as well. But if you can get him at home, then by all means, like, just bring it on. And then, like, if you get over that hurdle, then your confidence is through the roof. But it would be a very tough out. I mean, Vanderbilt has a very pedestrian record and is not a team that's been like in the top part of the rankings.
They look like dog
in the rankings at all, but like, they're dangerous.
Kentucky yesterday for most of that game.
You know, there's going to be, I don't know if you know, but I think there are going to be, and I think you kind of alluded at this, Damon, there are going to be at least 1 and maybe 2 teams that make it to the College World Series who did not have good regular seasons and got hot at the right time, and probably are in that category of teams that we've seen here in the past and have big names and big time coaches who just got it figured out in late May and in June. And that's interesting. It's different.
It might be Coastal, because they're capable. Sure. And now all of a sudden those arms are healthy.
Yeah, sure. Like, it could be any, and it's funny, like, that they're a legacy program at this point. Like, they've been here multiple times and have made noise. So yeah, put them in that category. I was thinking more in the line of Vandy or Arkansas or Florida, but yeah, it could.
Tennessee's got a run in them.
I don't know.
Arkansas today.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, they've of course been through a coaching change in the last year, and you know, I think that Vitello was a big part of the reason that Tennessee had the attitude and all the aura about them over the last few years. I mean, obviously huge amount of talent as well, but like, he was an engine. He was the driver of that, and I don't know if they've figured that piece out yet. So I don't necessarily expect to see Tennessee make a run and get to Omaha, but yeah, I mean, they have the talent. They're going to be more talented than some of the teams that do make it.
Sorry, I was just thinking about Vitello, because if I'm not mistaken, I don't want to rewrite history here, but before they actually did break through, a lot of people talked about kind of the Vitello as like, hey, is that a detriment? Like, is the volatility of kind of his personality and that trickling down to the team, is that what has kept them from getting over the hump? It's kind of funny how once we get there, we're like, maybe they're going to miss the fire. I don't even know that you're wrong. It's just the dichotomy there is kind of funny to me.
I mean, I think winning a national championship kind of answers that question.
Sure, yeah.
I don't think he was holding them back. I mean, I'm sure there were moments, and there were probably players in their program that maybe he wasn't the best fit with, but look, he recruited the guys who won the championship for Tennessee. And like I talked about with Will and seeing a formula and then executing it, Vitello obviously recruited players who fit his personality. And it's not everybody out there. You couldn't just take a list of the top 50 players who were on the market in the country and say, all right, we're going to plug you in with Tony Vitello and like, it's all going to work out. He had to pick the guys who worked for him. And, maybe that's why it will or won't work. You don't get to do that at the major league level.
No.
So at the major league level, you got a general manager and you got a draft and you get assigned to work with players. And I wonder a little bit about that part of it with the Giants. I don't doubt his baseball acumen and his ability to manage at that level, but I do wonder when you don't get to construct the roster yourself and pick and choose players in the way that you can in college, especially if you're Tennessee, about how that will work long term.
So let me go topical here, Mitch, with football. We talked to Coach Snow earlier in the week, and we just got off with Steve, and Ravi and I were jumping into red zone stuff last week. So while it's on my brain, you're watching Nebraska play, you kind of know some of the stats, right? Red zone inefficiencies versus red zone trips and touchdowns versus field goals and that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
Could you envision a world where Nebraska's efficient enough or more efficient in the red zone, given that Coach Holgorsen in his tenure has shown the propensity to be able to get there, where it takes some of the focus off what's happening defensively? Or are we just built to look at them as how complementary are they?
If you start getting a lot of 7s out of those red zone trips instead of 3s, then
or going forward.
yeah, going forward and not getting it.
Yeah.
It makes things more manageable for the defense. So that's complimentary right there. I mean, I think having a good red zone offense is hugely beneficial for your defense. I mean, I guess in some ways, and we saw this in the Michigan game, if you go for it in a red zone situation and you don't get it, you leave your defense in a pretty good place. And maybe the next possession, starts well offensively because of that. And that's complementary football also. But I mean, no need to complicate it. Like, be good in the red zone, get touchdowns. It's going to help your whole team. It's going to help your special teams. It's going to help your defense. It's going to help your bottom line and your win total. So whatever they can do to improve that efficiency is absolutely obviously it's a great thing. And I think the multi-skilled, the multi-dimensional quarterback, and spent a lot of time this offseason with Anthony Calandria talking about his ability to get out on the edge. And as long as he's got his receivers and mainly the receivers, but of course the tight ends, I put them in that category too. Like, as long as he's got them on the same page with him, and I worry a little bit about their ability to thrive as an offense in this. Like, there's a lot of new when all of a sudden you introduce this style. I worry a little bit about like comparing it to Diego Pavia and Vanderbilt, because just because you have a quarterback who is similarly skilled doesn't mean that you have 10 other players on the offensive side who are immediately going to be able to make that work with the quarterback. And if Nebraska can continue to work on that, June's an important month for them in that area with the work they're going to do in the OTAs. And of course, August is huge, and those first 3 or 4 games of the year get that ready. But like, if they can become a team offensively that really understands how to do that and extend plays and get first downs and score in the red zone because they have a quarterback who's good at that part of it, then I think the area where that impacts them the most, or one of the areas where that impacts them the most in a positive way, is in the red zone.
Mitch, would you be open to the, I guess, almost the opposite thought process of that a lot of these guys on the offensive side of the ball maybe were used to a quarterback that could do a lot of those things, and it's less of an adjustment for them than it was trying to play with a quarterback that wasn't mobile?
I don't know. I mean, it would require a study into the backgrounds, at the high school level or at their previous school, as far as like what kind of quarterbacks those guys played with. I'm
kind of
I don't know,
thinking anecdotally that like a lot of quarterbacks in high school are really good athletes, right? Like, you don't.
Yeah, there's mobile quarterbacks, athletic quarterbacks. I think Ravi, to your point, that most of the receivers and tight ends on the Nebraska roster were more closely affiliated with a quarterback whose skill set was like Anthony Calandria coming into Nebraska than they were with a quarterback who was like Dylan Raiola. That's probably accurate, but without like sitting down and charting it out, you don't know. So yeah, I think there's some validity there that like this isn't going to be totally foreign to them. But in their time at Nebraska before the last 3 or 4 months, they have been schooled in the pocket passer quarterback offense. So that's an adjustment regardless. And some of them are new. Quasi Gilmer, like it doesn't matter what the Dylan Raiola offense was like for him. And he played with Nico last year, who was as good as existed in the Big Ten at doing that kind of thing. And he thrived in that offense. So that he should plug and play for multiple reasons. And I don't have any reason to believe that Isaiah Hunter and Ja'Cory Barney and Quinn Clark and Luke Lindenmeyer, like I think all of those guys are suited to be able to do it. They just have to get used to it, and you don't walk in the first game like everything goes perfectly. So the schedule sets up nicely so that they can get rolling. And it sounds like that's going to be a huge component of the offense. So I don't think you can underestimate how big it is for the need to have receivers and tight ends who are comfortable in that system.
I kind of look at it just at its core, Mitch. I was saying this last segment where if I'm there's kind of this responsibility you feel with other guys. If your teammates give you the sentiment that they're laying it on the line and they're kind of gamers, which AC seems to be, it's almost like you feel this. There's this underlying thing like, man, this guy's out here running around trying to make plays. Not only is it exciting, it's, I owe it to lay it on the line too. You know what I mean? Like there's just these weird things emotionally that happen when you see guys attack the game. I was listening to Thomas Davis played at Carolina, the Panthers, and he was talking about playing with Steve Smith and how watching Steve Smith play like ignited that football team. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like he's like, this dude would just throw he just reckless abandon. So it's there's definitely something to it.
I think this style of football, a lot of it is about effort and want to and being inspired and just having the skill set to do it. But there's also a part of it that's knowing what to do. I mean, I don't doubt that Isaiah Hunter and Quasi Gilmer are fully capable of doing whatever you're asking them to do as athletes in an offense. Big, strong, like they can run, they can block, they can catch, they can out physical defensive backs. They can do it all. But they also have to know what to do, and they have to be comfortable in that situation. Like you just because they have it in them doesn't mean that it's all going to come out right away. So again, that just goes back to the importance of spring and summer and camp in September and all of that, and figuring it out so that when the games get really big and they start playing in, it just let's not even go to Indiana. When they go to Michigan State, when they go to Michigan State, like it's not going to be an easy game. Like it's we get ahead of ourselves and say, oh, Nebraska's going to be 5-0 when Indiana comes into town. It's like, well, hold on. Like, where have they shown the history of being able to go to East Lansing? I don't care if it's Pat Fitzgerald's first game back in the Big Ten. Like, it's a Big Ten team on the road. Like, they want to win too. They know how to win too. They have resources too. That game, like that's when the stuff is going to hit the fan at some point. And how comfortable are those players in the offense in being able to mesh and work with Anthony Calandria so that when they get in those spots, they score touchdowns and instead of committing turnovers or being forced to kick field goals or go for it on fourth down.
That's Mitch Sherman from The Athletic. Mitch, great stuff as always. Hope you enjoyed your vacation, and we'll talk again soon.
Thanks, guys.
Hey, Mitch.
That's Mitch Sherman from The Athletic. Good stuff there.
It is. It's fascinating. I always look at the psychology of it. And it's an injection.
I do. I am.
And I think he's failed enough.
He's been through it a little bit.
So I like that too.
Yeah. I don't want the first time you fail to be here. Right. Like I want to see that you're capable of getting through it.
It's kind of a weird thing to gravitate towards, but you get it.
No, I 100% get it. Like failure is and more accurately, the ability to overcome or come back from failure in my opinion, is the greatest indicator of future success over just about anything else. Like if I know you can go through it and come out the other side and be successful, I will bet on that.
It's like 90% of it, man.
That's, you know what I mean? Like it is.
Yes, I do.
I mean, I know you do. Yeah. Like, but like that's the thing I'm willing to bet on. So that's, you know, I'm sure people have kind of noticed, like in the last, I don't know, year and a half, whatever, started to gravitate when we're talking about, like, you know, just guys that play hard, guys that are competitive, guys that, you know, have been through something. Like I think that's way more important in winning and losing than we give it credit for. Right? We talk about a lot of other things, but I think, you know, we bring up Indiana, and I don't like to use them as the example in terms of expectations, but I do like to use them as an example in terms of what is the secret to actually winning, right? Because you look at it, especially 2 years ago, the first year was Cignetti. Nobody was enamored with that roster. Not a soul, right? Chris Rourke didn't get drafted number 1 overall.
Yeah, I'm asking our guy from pigs.com is, I mean, can Surratt really play?
Yeah.
Remember that at Deer Creek?
Yeah, and I asked him, I go, what does an FCS roster get you in the Big Ten? Yeah. I asked that question. And apparently when everybody is on the same page and plays their ass off and there's camaraderie,
it's pretty good.
Like, yeah, that'll be fine. That'll work. And if you ask me the one thing that's been missing on a consistent basis from Nebraska, it's all of those things. I've never been like, I understand there's a talent gap between Ohio State and Nebraska. I'm not having that conversation. The conversation I'm having is there actually a talent gap between Minnesota and Iowa and Wisconsin and Michigan State and Northwestern and Nebraska? Because I don't think there is. I think there's an everything else gap that we haven't been able to close. But I don't think it's been a talent issue. Like Pete, I think do we unplug something?
I don't know. Maybe.
Do we hit the power strip?
Yeah, it might be the show.
All right. Well, show's over.
What, can you not hear?
Just end it, Shane.
Can you not hear me?
Just end it.
It's time for Stars, Stripes, and Savings at Edwards Hyundai. Lease the 2026 Hyundai Palisade SE all-wheel drive, starting at $339 a month. Big savings to start May right. 2 great Hyundais, 1 big May event. Let's go. We've also got the 2026 Hyundai Elantra SE. Sign and drive for $0 down, starting at $249 a month. Don't wait. Get in on Stars, Stripes, and Savings this May at Edwards Hyundai.
See you. Have a good day. Love you.